So we came to an idea to like do the Chanel CC. So Debbie's like, let's put the double C's on the front. My little brother Twan calls me and he's like, yo, you just got sued. And I'm like who? He's like, Chanel. And I'm like,
what's up, everybody? Welcome. Another episode, another guest.
A very important guest.
Very important guest.
Very dear to me.
Big friend of the show.
The biggest friend of the show, man. I love this guy.
Our brother, man. I would say that a big part of why we're here today is Drew giving us an opportunity, Scott and I.
Yes.
It's allowed us to keep our longevity after we left our jobs to pursue this dream. And Drew took a chance on us, and he allowed us to keep going. And so very exciting for us to sit here today with the owner of Homme Femme, a very important Black creative in our world.
Yes.
And that doesn't get nearly enough credit for the work that he's done.
For other people, too.
And for other people.
Not just himself.
And that's what that's what I want to talk about today. So without further ado, Andrew Evans, owner, founder, operator of Homme Femme LA.
Yes, sir.
And just fashion genius. Welcome.
thank you,
Big
man.
Zaddy. My dog, man. I love you, bro. This is really exciting to me.
Yeah.
There's like almost not enough time to talk about everything that we've all been through together.
So I feel like it's only right. I kind of have to go back to the beginning from my perspective of how I feel like all of this kind of transpired years ago. And I would love for Michael to pull this up and post it up on the screen. But if you do a quick Google search, you can Google this Homme Femme Chanel crew neck sweater, and you'll see this Chanel sweater was like just this new thing when fashion and streetwear was changing right before we got into scallop tees and
there's Pyrex
things
was
like
popping.
that. Pyrex was
Da
popping.
Vinci was huge.
People are starting to really cut and sew and create, and he came up with this crew neck sweater. And anybody knows my identity before I was Full Fit Larry. I was Chanel Shouty, and I had to have this crew neck sweater. And I worked at this boutique at the time with Scotty, and I was reaching out to this brand, just trying to get connected to this brand because I needed that crew neck. Needless to say, that started a relationship with the brand, which has then gone on to where we are today.
But it also was the start for him as well. Like it was a start for you connecting the dot, and it was also a start of where it all started.
Yeah, the beginning of the brand.
I don't know if that was before Taz time or not, or around the same time, but that was pretty much the beginning, right?
That was literally like right after I got done with my time with Taz. It's crazy because I remember those days. Like just to go back like a little bit before that,
Right.
I went to South by Southwest in 2013 to Status with Tisa. And I'm like, yo, who is this guy right here, bro? Like, and I could never forget Scott, bro, because he just always just was outgoing and just very just very personable, hospitable. He's like, yo, man, whatever you need, man, just let me know. Like, and I remember the guy that you guys used to work with, Ben. Like, I could never forget him, and maybe even the girl that you guys came to off with. Oh yeah, Rodney for sure. Yeah, but I didn't see Larry at that time.
Nah, he wasn't there yet.
Yeah,
he wasn't there.
But I remember during those days when we finally did get in contact, like just business wise, I used to email Larry to get paid. Like your email was like text something.
It was text at collective status.
And I'm like, yeah, I saw you in Vegas in the elevator, and I'm like, what's up with this money, Larry? Like, like those were much simpler times in those days.
Yeah.
Like you're right. Those were the days where like everything was kind of meshing together. Like I think like 2012, 2013 were probably like some of the coolest years for the culture,
Absolutely, because we were watching things brew with people like Virgil.
ASAP Rocky.
That was when
Rocky.
Scotty and I were first selling shoes. You know,
40 ounce
that
Vans was big too back then.
Bro, I was in all that, bro.
Shout out 40 ounce Vans.
we watched the beginning of the first, you know, Ye shoes and the first Ye.
Yeah, you had to get the
Nikes
Twitter link, bro. I
and
remember
all
sitting
of
at the
that.
store waiting for the Twitter link to drop, and I'm
So
over there
to-
trying to get the Air Yeezys.
So to any of those big dogs out there that may be listening, just know like we are a product of
We
what
are.
the work that those guys were setting in motion 10 years ago,
Yeah.
11 years ago. So
Quickly though, I want to talk about like where you're growing up, your background, things of that matter. If it's
Yeah.
where you
okay.
from, homie?
Man, so where you from? Where your grandma stay? Yeah. I mean, you know, y'all know me, but for the people that don't know me, my name's Drew. Government's name's Andrew Evans, IG Passport Poppy. You know what I mean? Like, and I live by Passport Poppy, you know what I mean? Homme Femme has allowed me to be able to actually go travel the world and see stuff. But I grew up in Southside Compton and I grew up in West Los Angeles. So like I'm around the same age as you all. So like growing up in Compton, I lived like Tupac getting beat up at the Lakewood Mall, and then Tupac getting killed in Vegas. I grew up on the same block with Baby Lane.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember like Suge Knight and all those people
Crazy.
coming down my block. You know, I remember that kind of stuff. Like, so on the South Side, that's like where all the money was. Like anybody that knows, like Flash met my godfather Keefe D. Like, so allegedly Keefe D is the one that killed Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So like that was someone that I grew up with. Like that kind of influenced me a little bit too. Just seeing like fly shit, you know, lowriders, and he had a Cadillac Escalade and put me on throwback jerseys. And
Did you wear Cortezes?
nah, we wore Chucks in LA.
That's right.
Back
High
in-
socks?
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, the high socks, that's more of like a cholo kind of swag.
Okay.
You know, LA is very dense. Like, you know, you got different types of neighborhoods. You got the different cultures. You know, you got the Mike Amiri culture, which is the Sunset, you know, Jack Nicholson, like Sunset Plaza culture. Then you got the South Central culture. You got the Chicano culture. The high socks is really like a Chicano thing, you know. But I think like LA is a melting pot. And like, I think my first experience of growing up, having like pride was actually like knowing like, as crazy as it sounds, knowing like these kind of iconic hip hop people, I knew them in real life. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gave me like an insider POV. And then like growing in high school on the west side of LA, like with Shia LaBeouf and like all these cool other like kids in the other scene, like that kind of gave me another confidence.
Yeah.
So like I seen the ghetto, but I seen the money side of the hood, the D-boy swag. I kind of incorporate that into Homme Femme a little bit, you know?
Absolutely.
You sell Homme Femme, you see like the
1000%.
target consumer really is the athletes and the D-boys, and it kind of mixes in with the, you know, the Hollywood crowd too.
We call it hood gold.
Hey, I love
Hood
hood gold.
gold.
It
Yeah.
just really is.
Yeah.
And it's because you are directly bringing it and bringing that high fashion, making it accessible for that level. You know,
Yeah. To
the
not
front line.
everybody can afford the high fashion, but
Yeah.
with your brand, everybody can wear the high fashion.
Yeah.
The trends.
And the styles, the silhouettes, and that's a very important aspect. So at what point, so obviously you saw this going on, but at what point did you figure out like that clothing or the fashion side would be your ticket and your way to approach how to get the bag?
Also, though, were you a troubled kid growing up? I don't think I ever asked that.
I mean,
knowing you.
I wouldn't say I was troubled. I definitely had a strong upbringing, like my grandparents in Compton. So my mother died when I was 4 years old. So I do think I've carried that trauma into my adult life. Just not having a mother figure in my life kind of made me a little bit hard. Like, you know, like I'm gonna give you all the raw, uncut shit right now, right?
Please, that's why I asked
So
the
yeah,
question.
my nephew, you know my brother Twan. He has a son.
Shout out
Jr.,
Twan. I
right?
love you, dog.
So Twan Jr. is kind of the age that I was when my mom passed, like 3.5 going on 4. He'll be 4 in like 11 days. So like I just from that age I didn't have a mom.
Yeah.
So I would like get mad at your mom if she picked you up from school. I'd be like, fuck Scott, like his mom's alive and mine's not. Like that's kind of fucked up. So that kind of gave me like a little kind of like an edge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but my grandparents on my father's side, you know, were a strong 2-parent household, middle class. My grandma worked for the county hospital. My grandpa worked, you know, at a nice job, making good money back in the day. Like in the 90s, like a black man making $40 an hour.
Yeah.
That was good money.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
that's
Still-
great.
that's still
Yeah,
good
it's
money.
still good.
So I had PlayStations and bikes and, You know, they got new cars every 3 years, like leases. And on the west side, my grandma, you know, she raised us during the week. So, like, even though she was single and she had a little less financial stability as my grandparents in Compton, ironically, like, I was able to see, like, the nicer parts of the city because I lived there.
Yeah.
I went to school with those rich kids and, like I said, Shia LaBeoufs and Nipseys and people like that. Like, so it was interesting. But, yeah, like, for me in fashion, like we said, bro, 2011, 2012, 2013, like, my little brother, he's the man as far as parties. He threw all the parties, like, from high school on. So we seen all the artists come up during that time. But ironically, how I got into fashion was I was doing parties in Hollywood, making money. That was my way to make money because Twan was doing parties. And I met a guy named Johnny Cruz who's, like, huge in Hollywood. Started doing 21 overs. And I started meeting, like, football players, more rappers and shit like that. And then one day, my boy Bailey, who was Taz's assistant, you probably remember Bailey.
I remember
Bailey,
Lil
bro.
Yeah. So,
Shout out Bailey. I haven't heard that name in a minute.
So Bailey, bro, was like younger than all of us. He's probably like, we're all like 34, 35. Bailey's probably like 31.
Always smoking them cigarettes every time I saw him.
Weed. Yeah, but nah, so Bailey, like, he brought me in with Taz, and he's like, yo, we want to do a party for the BET Awards in 2012 with A$AP Rocky. So I remember, like, 2011, I was coming home from Vegas. My boy Christian played A$AP Rocky's mixtape. Like, Space Ghost Perp and all that.
Yep.
And we're, like, smoking out the Infinity truck, driving through the desert. You guys made that drive from L.A. to from Vegas to L.A. Looking at the stars and shit. And I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, this shit is hard. It's like a Houston, New York mix.
Yeah, it was a mixture of a lot.
And I'm just driving through the desert, passing the joint around, and I'm camel down in my boxes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo! Like, so A$AP started that sound for me, bro. Yeah, exactly. And when I heard Flacco, bro, I'm like, yo. Then he started talking about the clothes and the Raf Simons, Jeremy Scott, Taz Arnold Tisa, Jeremy Scott Adidas. And I'm just like, yo. So I was working with Taz.
Was this when he was with MCM at the time? Or when was that? I don't remember.
Taz, bro, I think Taz, like, run was, like, from, like, 07. Like, his biggest hype was, like, 07 to, like, 2012.
Okay.
Like, that's when, you know, the Chris Browns were new and the Big Seans, Tiana Taylors, and he had everybody wearing MCM.
He was already with Ye at that time, and Virgil and Don and all that.
That picture, you know that picture.
Yeah, everybody knows that picture, bro.
You know,
it's iconic.
Yeah, y'all talked about that on one of y'all podcasts before. But, yeah, so a funny story that most people don't know is that they were winging that trip. Like, Taz had told me a lot of different stories, but Kanye and Virgil and them, and at that point, if you look at that picture, Kanye was Kanye. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was global superstar.
He was Louis Vuitton Don, I think, around that time still.
But Taz was probably, if you had to rank the clique, Taz was probably number 2 as far as notoriety.
Right.
And then, you know, Virgil and Don C were, like, Kanye's people, but Taz was way more lit at that point. And, like, Taz told me, like, yeah, we went out there, man, and, like, you know, we weren't really invited to too many shows. Like, we kind of just showed up. We just kind of just bogarted our way in there. Like, and that, you know, y'all had Flash on yesterday. Like, that's kind of been our motto, too. Like, bogarting. Yeah. But, like, they bogarted that, bro. That picture with Karl Lagerfeld, that was just, they were just standing out. You know, they weren't people like them out there at that time.
Right. They
pushing the boundaries for sure.
So Bailey's like, yo, we're doing this party. It's going to be at this spot on Wilshire, a penthouse, and Rocky's going to host it. And Taz had a lot of influence, man. Kids looked up to him. He was that guy that was putting MCM on, like you said, Scott.
I still got some of the shorts and the dope hats. I got all that shit tucked away in my crib right now.
Taz style was
the South by ones, the blue ones.
Got them.
His style was crazy. You know, they mocked him on South Park.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So his style was crazy. And, like, just doing parties with Twan and Taz would host. And my brother's always been about his money, you know? So he's like, man, I don't care about no fashion shit. Like, what's up with the check? So I'm like, you know what? Me, I've always kind of, like, seen opportunities, and I always like building stuff. Like, I like looking at, like, brands and, like, trying to, like, piece them back together. I saw opportunity to make something happen, you know? So I'm very analytical at times, you know? Like, I'm like, yo, like, you know, this brand might not be what it once was, but I feel like I can make it be what it should be again.
Right.
Like, I'm like, yo, one day I'm going to meet Dame Dash. And when I meet Dame Dash, Rockefeller's going to be back.
Yeah.
Like, I got the plans, man. I got them written down on my notepad. They're in my MacBook on the notes. I met Dame Dash one day. I'll tell y'all that later. Like, yeah, I don't see him the same way I used to, but
For sure.
yeah. So yeah, we did the party with Bailey. It didn't end up being at the lounge or the penthouse. It ended up being at Supper Club. So I feel like in my life, bro, I've been a part of a lot of magical nights just in culture. And like that night, Flacco hosted. YG met Young Jeezy that night. And allegedly that's like they recorded the song My End where like a couple nights later, which was like a huge song with him and Rich Homie. Yeah, DJ Drama hosted.
Love Drama.
DJ Drama shouted me out on Instagram. I mean, on Twitter, excuse me. Instagram wasn't really popping like that. He shouted me out and like, yo, this is probably the craziest party I went to. So I kept doing parties with Tisa and Bailey. Me and Bailey around the streets. I was like a de facto intern for Taz. So everybody that came through Tisa, I would meet. Like I would meet like Mookie Bayuski from Japan.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, what the fuck? I haven't heard that in a minute.
Yeah, Yusuke, bro. That was Larry knows, bro. You guys know those were the times. So like I
That
said,
was Josh and all them were rocking that when they were all running around with Tory Lanez back in the day.
Yeah, so I met a lot of cool people in those times, bro. We ended up doing a Halloween party. At our Halloween party, a cool little artist that was barely known, that was popping off on World Star at the time, Gold All on My Chain.
Yeah, Trinidad.
You know what I'm saying? Trinidad.
Shout out Trinidad.
We brought Trinidad James out to
Big
LA
friend of the show.
for the first time, well before anybody knew who he was.
I feel like we also brought him to Dallas.
Yeah, we brought him around that time.
So yeah.
After.
So I would say, like, I did A$AP Rocky's first party in LA, brought Trinidad James to LA for the first time. We ended up doing a Christmas party that year too in 2012. This is still 2012. We brought Cameron back. Ooh. Cameron hosted. 2012 Cameron was like kind of like it was slow for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was that separation where he was trying to sell Joel's contract and all that stuff going on.
So we had Cam out here and he did our party coming into 2013. Me and my boy Bailey, I'm like, I'm seeing Taz and I'm like, seeing all his collection and stuff, and I'm seeing how he keeps his pieces and his trunks and his scarves and his repaired denim and his cowboy boots, and I'm seeing a stock room of Tisa hats and stuff and $150 snapbacks and shit, and I'm just like, and I'm not understanding it when I first start, but then after a while, I'm like, yo, this is dope, I could do this too. So I told Bailey, I'm like, Bailey, like, I got this idea, like, it was like a 2013 in Roman numerals, and like, I'm like, yo, Bailey, let me try some designs. And he's like, nah, B, you keep doing them parties.
That's hilarious how you're talking like him right now.
And I'm like, exactly, yo, Taz, man, like, what's up? And Taz is like, you're doing a good job, man. Like, you just get the South by Southwest thing going for us. So we do the South by Southwest thing.
You brought Ty Dolla. He performed in our store.
Yeah.
Ty Dolla was nobody knew who he was, but Taz saw, I guess, so y'all saw it in him or whatever. Who performed literally right in the store. He grabbed a microphone and just like rapped right there.
Besides fashion, Taz is like, he's the music.
Right.
Like his ear is crazy. Like he won a Grammy with Kendrick.
Yeah.
For my
that's right.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Taz. That's one of the reasons he started with Kanye, because of the music. It wasn't the clothes.
Gotcha. That's why he was around in the first place.
Yeah. So I feel like people in this generation, we're talking about the modern day fashion age, right? Not where like you were like fucking Karl Lagerfeld and you were just this savant, or like I feel like nowadays the only savants are like Olivier or Riccardo Tisci, Alessandro Michel, people like that, right? Yeah. I feel like the modern day fashion designer, a Virgil, a Jerry, Ruigi, even somebody like myself, I feel like they're just kind of like, they got into it somehow. It's not like we went to Central St. Martin's or, Parsons or something,
Really cutting and sewing and understanding fabrics. And it's like we all just kind of fell into.
Yeah, you fall into it, bro. Like Jerry Lorenzo was a club promoter in LA. And then he got into fashion, Fear of God. Fear of God is like 10 years old too. Yeah. Like the only difference is like we didn't have that Kanye influence. Yeah. Right. Like we know Kanye obviously Flash, has connections to him. I've met him a few times, but like it's not like Kanye ever threw on Homme Femme. Yeah. You guys know because you guys have been in the trenches forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like literally since day one.
And we've watched a lot of people wear the brand.
Yeah. You guys have literally been.
I've actually put up to a lot of scary situations to give out the brand.
With a Louis duffel bag.
R.I.P. Dolph.
I had to pull up on. I smoked with Dolph. It was tight.
A lot of people came through. So I don't want to like run you guys' show. right? But you guys have, like, you've literally been a part of Homme Femme since day one commercially.
Yeah, we carried the first collection at Status.
Yeah.
Where you had the elongated button down that looked almost like the guitar style, like how one was longer than the other.
J-Bar modeled it.
Yeah,
J-Bar modeled
The
it.
first cut and sew collection.
Yeah.
Nah, like
That collection was very far out too. It was super cool. That was like a very classic collection.
And that's me, bro. Like, you know, like I said, bro, I didn't grow up wearing my mom's dresses. I didn't want to like make clothes or nothing like that. You know, like that wasn't my vibe. I wanted to be like Sean John. I wanted to be like Rockaware. You know, I wanted to be like Russell Simmons. You know, I wanted to be like Birdman and have a record label. You know, and when the clothing entrepreneurship came along, all the kids wanted to be like Jay and Dame. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to Rockaware, wanted Sean John. We wanted to be like Inichi or something like that. You know. So, like, yeah, but, like, nah, you guys have literally been there since day one, and, like, I want to thank y'all, you know? Like, I know y'all are giving me mine, but I want to give y'all y'all's because we really, literally, like, had some tough times.
Yeah, we did.
Like, y'all see these guys as, like, you know, big balling out of control now and, you know, running their shop and have, I think, the coolest shop in Texas, for sure, hands down. And then it's up there in the world now, like, in the world. Like, just for what y'all have done to the city of Dallas, bro. I remember when people wouldn't even look at y'all straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when people were trying to little bro y'all.
They still do.
Yeah, I don't think it's the case no more, though.
We talk about that shit all the time. So the design, though, they both people, it's kind of what we were talking about with Flash, where opportunities where the master doesn't want you to be better than them. So you're over here telling them, like, oh, I got these designs. And the masters are just kind of like, nah, just go back to what you're doing. Yeah. Kind of not intimidated, but they just don't even want to dabble because of the thought of you maybe taking it to that level. And so how did you go around that to create the first piece?
You know what's crazy, man? I feel that way, bro. Like, now that I'm, like, kind of in a position of significance.
You would give the same advice?
I could feel where they're coming from because you are the one that have to, if it doesn't do well, you're the one that has to eat that, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, now with me having a team of young creatives that work with me, like, I try now more than ever to, like, give them a little bit of leeway to make a mistake. Like, my whole basis of me, like, having a team is, like, trying to give them a better life than I had coming up. Like, imagine if you had a Larry in your life 10 years ago or a Scott. Yeah. Like, imagine if your boss cared about your hair being cut or, you know, you eating a good dinner, like, or, you know, all the shit you do for these kids that you don't ever say, you know? Like, we know what goes on behind the scenes, but, like, imagine if we all had someone like us coming up, how further along we would be.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of why we are the way we are.
Yeah.
We saw all the mistakes for the years that we were doing it for someone else that we told ourselves that when it was our turn, we were going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And some.
Yeah. So, like, I could kind of see where Taz was probably like, you know what? This kid doesn't necessarily fit the mold that I think he should be. So I'm not going to, like, just give him, you know, like, the keys to the city, you know? And I wasn't ready at that time, bro. I had a lot of dope ideas that I've shown that I've had a lot of dope ideas, but I wasn't ready to, like, run the show, you know what I mean? And, like, when you're coming from, like, we got to really understand, like, how legendary this guy is. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy was, like, still is respected by, like, the top dogs. Like, Taz was in fucking Paris with Virgil recently, R.I.P. Virgil, like, influencing, like, the shit. When you look at, like, the Native American aspects of Louis Vuitton and Off-White, like, certain little things, like, you can see, like, Taz's influence to this day. To this day, there's, like, a behind-the-scenes crowd that runs the game, like someone like Denim Tears Tremaine. Yeah. Like, holier than thou to these kids now. Taz is, like, the god to them.
Right.
So, like, I feel like I'm, like, blessed to, like, be in that lineage, you know? Like, I'm not as popular in the fashion industry as Ruigi, obviously, but he came from Taz. Yeah. Chris Stamp came from Taz. You know, so there's, like, a lineage. Like, you know, Kanye came through Taz, like, in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Right. And then a lot of those people came through Kanye, and it all just kind of like...
Yeah. I think I could say, like, I would if you consider Kanye the god of the culture, like, you know, the guy that's responsible for a little bit influencing everyone, like, I'm definitely in a Kanye bloodline. Yeah. Like, I came through that, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys were talking to Flash the other day about just all those stories and stuff. Like, and it's true. Like, it really does matter. But
you ever seen that Chinatown shirt Chinatown Market shirt is called the alumni tee, and the head coach is Kanye, and then you have like Alex and Aaron Preston and everybody below, all the way down to Don C, Abby and Jasper.
You want to hear some crazy shit?
Yeah.
I had that idea way before them. And I swear to your...
Y'all did share factory walls.
I mean, we are actually in Chinatown's old warehouse now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 2 doors down in like a 7,000 square foot spot. And then when Chinatown moved out, we took over their spot because the same landlord. So he's like, yo, would you like to take this place? Michael is leaving. And I went in there and I said, this place is nice. Very, very, very ambitious warehouse for where we're at. But yeah, it's dope. So
you made it, you filled it up.
Yeah.
We did fill it up. Yeah, we're doing well in there. But I definitely had that idea before them. But it's not about who had the idea. It's about who executed it.
Correct.
Yeah.
You ever had that happen before with other things?
All the time. Yeah. I see stuff all the time. And me and Flash see stuff. We were on SBs at least a year and a half before the trend got right. Like, yeah.
Do you ever
needles pants?
Yeah. Do you ever regret pulling the trigger too early?
We were just talking about that,
Yeah.
Scott. You know,
Do you
guys
regret
know
it, though?
more than me. You guys had a warehouse full of Homme Femme that was 2 years before its time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Several times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost a gift and a curse for you because sometimes you're so far ahead of the curve that people don't get it yet. I think our barber John has a pair of pants.
He's wearing the flare pants right now. Flare pants just got popular last year, and he dropped those 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That was when we first opened the store.
2018 that you dropped flares.
And those pants were on sale, and if they had to come out today, they'd be sold out.
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
You know, a part of the fashion industry, though, is like understanding your consumer.
Yeah.
And I think like the discipline now of like understanding what they want. Like I said, 10 years ago, I couldn't have run the shit. My hubris at 24, 25 would have wanted me to have ran the ship, but I don't think I was ready for it. Like, you know, but like doing this for 10, you know, being in the industry for 11, 12 years, having my own brand for almost 10 years in the next few months, like I understand it a lot better now. And like, you got to know what your people want. Like we were talking about it yesterday, Scott. Like, you know, you provide a great store for your consumer.
Right.
But he might not wear everything in the store all the time. He might find some stuff that comes in there. You might find some stuff that comes in there. You might find some stuff that comes in there. But you got to know what the consumer wants. Yeah. Like that's discipline. Like,
even for us,
like general population
as store
of the
owners,
people.
That's we want to buy based on what we like and what we wear.
And you can't.
And so even as a designer, it sounds like you might go to Paris and experience something at a runway show and then want to present that to your crowd. And then you execute that, not realizing that it's going to take 1 year to 2 years before the actual consumer catches up to.
Bro, I've had so many
freaking
like, so many scenarios where I'm like, yo, this is the next thing, right? And like, I'm excited, bro. You know, my in the fashion game, bro, when you're independently owned, you guys know this more than anything because you're paying for everything. You know, when you buy those shoe hauls, it's your money. Now you got to sit on it and wait for the money to come back. So you see this idea, you're inspired, you execute it, you manufacture it, it comes, you market it, and the market's like, nah.
Ian has to watch the charts every day of what's sold for shoes.
Yeah.
And sift out what's not selling and know not to pick it up again and then double up on the stuff that we know is going to fly.
So like, for instance, like double
risk.
up on stuff that flies, you know? Like it's in the fashion, bro, you want to be cool, you want to be ahead, you want to be groundbreaking, but sometimes you got to stay down in that trap house, sell the same thing over and over to get your money up. Yeah. Like, so, you know, a lot of people from the outside looking in, they love to judge, you know, like for rappers, for instance, you know, you look at someone like, you know, we know T, like I don't want to be too controversial, but T's like, yo, Lil Baby, man, he don't fuck with your brand. And I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, that's cool. You know, Lil Baby don't like it. Maybe, you know, Lil Boosie does.
Right. Or Moneybag Yo does.
Moneybag likes it. Or, you know, or like the next guy.
Dolph liked it.
Yeah, Dolph loves Homme Femme. You know, like Kayvon Thibodeau from the New York Giants. Homme Femme does well with the NFL players. You know, we do well on runways. Certain people wear our brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Certain people like it. But, all right, Lil Baby doesn't like Homme Femme today. Offset, for instance, me and Offset had a crazy argument one day, man. It was the craziest thing ever. Going back to the Flash episode where he said that, you know, I was telling Offset about Flash's shoe collection. You know, my boy was shooting for Offset one day, and I went to Offset's house, and Offset had all these shoes lined up, and I brought all this Homme Femme, the trademark jeans, to the side, and Offset had wore those jeans a year before. So at the time, man, like you guys know, man, we were in a warehouse in Deep Ellum for a year straight, bro. We had like bad fits, you know, colors was coming in wrong from overseas. You guys were stuck with a lot of product, and like we had all this product sitting in a warehouse that Scotty was living in while we were distributing it. You mind if I tell the story?
No.
Yeah. Larry took us down to like some gator spot. We probably had $1,000 between us.
Yeah.
Like Larry was down bad. Scott was down bad.
My dad was paying my bills.
Yeah. I was down bad. But I probably was doing a little bit better than y'all.
Yeah.
Like a little bit. Not a lot though.
Because
like,
you had the product, you had a
Yeah.
source.
Drew said one thing that stuck out. He said, "Guys, if we don't this next collection, if we doesn't do well, there'll be no more Homme Femme."
Yeah, and it's always that way, bro. It's like that today. I just wired $100,000 to my factory. Like, you know, and it's like, yo, it's gonna take a week to get here. Then we gotta print it. Like it's always do or die in this industry when it's your money. Like a lot of people can make decisions spending someone else's money, but what can you do, you know, when it's your money? You know
You try a lot harder when you're pot committed.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
You got to go hustle. Like Marcel's charging credit cards as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to make that money back. Payroll is in a week. You know. So yeah. So going back to like the whole little baby thing, man. So our friend Exclusive Game tells me that. I'm like, that's fine, you know. But it's easy for these people to, like I said, not only make decisions with other people's money. It's easy for a rapper that, you know, has the cash to put on the newest, you know, he got his Amiri pens on, got his Louis jacket
wear
on.
whatever
I
he
saw what he
wants.
was doing the other day with the Louis
People's Gallery
jacket with the chrome.
Yeah.
He called it the Whoremans.
Yeah, because everybody has that
Yeah.
Louis jacket. But
I catch these egos, Ian.
Yeah.
I catch them all the
Yeah,
time.
of
Like,
course, of
you know,
course.
he's like, yeah, everybody got this Louis jacket on. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, bro.
not
No,
everybody
they-
has that Louis jacket.
I'm not gonna lie. When he said that, I've never even seen that jacket before. So
He got on the chrome hearts, you know, he got on whatever shoes he had on, and he's like, no Amiris.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you was just wearing Amiris.
Yeah.
You had 50 bands in your Amiris. Now you're not. Why does everybody want to cancel Amiri now, man?
because
Like,
it was almost like a what's it called? An outfit you have to wear to school.
Like a
Yeah.
uniform.
It was like a uniform. The
'cause-
Dior Chucks with the Miris was like a uniform for 2 years.
It's like Panda Dunks. The same reason why everybody
Yeah.
hates that. Once it becomes
But the thing is-
masses, it's not cool anymore.
but who he hangs around is the fucking 1%, and the rest of the world's not wearing.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
fucking
like Lil
Amiris,
Baby can
bro.
say that, but it's like, bro, you have so much money. I get it.
do you think Little Baby has the power to cancel a brand? Because you how Rocky did Hood by Air.
Yeah, I mean,
Rocky
you-
did.
But
that's
Rocky
different.
did do that though.
Yeah, that's different.
but I feel like people respected ASAP on some more fashion
Yeah,
shit
I was
than
exactly.
Lil Baby, a fashion guy.
1000%.
Like Drake, he's like, yo, you know, and I never drove a Lamborghini Urus, or I
I don't
never
stay
wore
at the
my Camry.
Intercontinental or
Yeah,
whatever.
like just recently, he's like, I never wore my Camry. I'm like, damn, Drake, you Jewish too. Like, why you doing your boy like that? Like, that's crazy, bruh. Like, yeah, I don't listen to the noise no more, man. I know what I do this shit for, man. I got my team, I got myself, I got my family. Like, I make sure my team's taken care of. They're paid. I never missed a paycheck with my team. Sometimes I've had to not pay myself for a week.
We had to,
we do that
did that
often.
during. Yeah, we do that.
all December.
Yeah, we did. We did
Like,
during December. We got some stuff coming up into 2023. We knew was more important than just catching a check.
Yeah, to keep it real with you, I might not pay myself this pay period. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's tough right now, man. You know, they say the recession is looming. Like, I have respect for the market.
A lot of uncertainty in the market.
And I put myself in a place to where, you know, if I don't get paid from Homme Femme for a few months, I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But like, as long as, you know, Mike and Malaysia and Marcel and everybody get paid, like that matters to me, you know? And like, you know, there's COVID in China right now. It's going crazy. They never had a wave of COVID because they were locked down all those years. They had all these restrictions. Now they're like, we're open. You know, it's kind of like summer 2020 when we all just got free.
Right.
Now every 300 million people caught COVID in 3 weeks in China.
That's an outstanding, ridiculous number.
Crazy, bro. And like, you know, this time of year is the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, so the factories closed.
Yeah, for 3 weeks or whatever.
3 weeks, but then you add COVID on top of it. Now they're done early.
Yeah.
So like, we're not
I
getting
didn't
no
think about
product
that.
until March.
Yeah.
So now the team is scrambling, trying to figure out like what we can put out. Like, you know, like,
Or
so
like
it's,
locally, I guess, too.
yeah,
right?
it's tough, bro. Like, it's tough to run a fashion company, bro.
Real quick, I want to talk about just the double up out the trunk with the tee. I want to go back to the tees again. I wanted you
the Chanel sweaters.
I want people to understand like what you had to do with the sacrifices that you made to double up, take the profits, get more. I remember you told me the story out the trunk and all that. Like, break that down real quick about just how it did.
All right, so I leave South by Southwest. I meet Scott. I don't know that 4 years later Scott's going to be distributing my brand. I don't know that 10 years later, you know, we're going to be sitting here. You know what I mean? So I meet literally like March 2013, South by Southwest. The only time I've ever been to South by Southwest. And I leave there. We drive back. I get blamed for Tisa for them drive. I get blamed for Tisa not being popping no more. You know, I'm the new guy. So you're the reason that, you know, we're all not flying first class back to LA. You know, Taz is on the plane, of course. But, you know, the gunners are in a van. We drive here, we drive back. I get blamed for that. We make a little bit of money off the showcase on 6th Street. I'm like, I'm not giving y'all my money. I work hard for this. You know, they want me to bow down to Taz because, you know, Taz is the guy, which he is. But I'm like, no, I need my money. So I pretty much get pushed out the door of Tisa. All I wanted was $3,000 so I could move out my grandma's house and live downtown LA. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. So working with Tisa, I met a lot of people. One of those guys happened to be 40-ounce Van from New York. He had the hats popping at that point.
I have every single one still to this day. Again, Twitter.
Yeah.
Waited for the Twitter link drop.
Yeah.
How to get them hoes.
So 40, man, me and 40 are still cool to this day. We made a lot of money together behind the scenes. But, yeah. And ironically, he has a better relationship with Twan than he does with me these days.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, so we do a pop-up with 40 Ounce in LA. It was his first pop-up in LA, you know? So... like, I bring 40 Ounce out here. We do it at the spot called Colors, downtown LA, with my boy Rich and Liz, and sold out. This is the day they dropped the Ben Trill hats.
Yep.
You know? So.
Rest in peace, Ben Trill.
So, Jay had just shouted out Ben Trill on his album. He's like, you know, what'd he say? He's like, you know, fuck a snapback, I Ben Trill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sitting on a car with 40 Ounce Van on drop day and see him make $80,000 in an hour. Nice. And I'm just like, yo. So that just further inspired me to do a brand. So I'm like, y'all got to get into this, man. So I had been having ideas, man. Like I said, I made the little beanie, the little hat with the Roman numeral 2013. And I've been around Taz and shit. So I started having like little screenshots in my iPhone and little mood boards and stuff. So I'm like, yo, man, like I got to make a hockey sweater, bro. I seen that trend come in. So me and my boy David Sebastian at the time, we've recently reconciled just on some G shit. Yeah. Me and Sebastian got together. I haven't heard
that name in a minute.
Yeah. Who's another talented artist who makes music and just David Sebastian was doing, allegedly was doing some stuff with Kanye. Remember like he had the brand Skid Row Fashion Club. And Kanye came out and was like, no, this is not legit. Kanye, it was legit, but Kanye kind of backed out of it. You know, Flash can't really say nothing crazy, but I can. Like, you know, I'm not tied to anything. He kind of had backed out of it and kind of made David look bad. But like a talented kid. So we sat down at a Starbucks in the South Bay of LA, Sepulveda, off the 110 freeway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, David, I got to do this hockey jersey. It got to be high fashion. So we came to an idea to like do the Chanel CC. So David's like, let's put the double C's on the front. And I brought the sports aesthetic to it. I'm like, yo, let's do the number 5. Yo, let's make it a real jersey. Let's put the Coco on the back with the big 5. And I'm like, yo, I got an idea, man. Like, I want to do a brand. I want to do Homeboy because I was inspired. And I just remember Kanye, like, yo, it's not Dior Homme. It's Dior, homie. You know, the crib Scarface, could you be more Tony? You love me for me, could you be more phony? Like, and I'm just like, yo, like, you got to do the high-end shit. So, you know, hip-hop and sports and street hip-hop culture in general, sports, has always been my biggest influence.
That's
you know?
super dope. I never knew that about the brand. That's where that came from.
Bro, dead ass, you need to do a pop-up and bring it back at that Starbucks.
Yeah, you know.
Like pull up real quick and like out the trunk, crazy pop-up.
And we're going to do pop-ups this year, man. You know,
do that shit.
After 10 years, bro, just seeing the game, bro, like I want to like, I've always kind of had a fear, bro, even to this day. Like, you know, seeing my brand, being a $5-6 million brand, it still just doesn't feel like nothing to me, you know? I just feel like I haven't reached the pinnacle of what I want to do. Like, it's sick. I know. I told you I'm sick.
Never
Like,
satisfied.
I'm sick.
That's
I think it's
great.
a sickness, bro. I don't think it's
No,
healthy.
it's a good thing to look
Yeah.
at, bro. Honestly.
What's
Yeah.
crazy about
It's
that?
not as sick because you just really, when you start getting money, you realize,
Yeah.
like
What
how
else can I
quickly-
do?
Yeah, because
Who
you
else
can
can
blow
I
through that
change?
real quick. Money comes and it goes, and so unless you can figure out how to keep it coming,
yeah.
I was
Exactly.
talking
I mean,
about that
exactly.
about Cristiano. He just signed that $400 million. They were
Oh, with
like-
the Saudi club?
Yeah, and we're like, what? Like he already is a billionaire. Like, why do you need that $400
How much does he make a day?
But
Ian?
500,000 a day.
Woo!
But the thing is like when you get to that
fucking
level,
nuts.
is like 400 million's a yacht.
Yo, it is a.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
a play. It's a play.
But you know when they
it's
say
but
quick play.
it's different whenever you get to that level. Like your taste grows.
You know, Cristiano, that team had like 60,000 followers.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
like 3 days later, they had like 5-6 million followers.
Yep.
it's fucking nuts.
That's the power. That's what they paid 400 million for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just in Portugal, myself, Flash, and Mike, and we were asking like, yo, you know, what's up? Like, where does Ronaldo live? And the lady, she's like, you know, in Portugal's a very like, it's European, it's on the coast, but it's a kind of impoverished country now, you know? Like they used to be the conquerors of the world, and then now they're getting by. She's like, you know, the minimum like salary in Portugal is like 600 euros a month, which is like 640 bucks.
yeah,
You know,
Holy shit.
and like they like so a house, you can get like a house on the coast in like a small town for like 200K. You know, some Malibu type shit. So she's like, Ronaldo built a $20 million house, which is like the most expensive house in Portugal. And I'm just like, yo, just to see that, I seen that meme, Ian. It's like Ronaldo makes $28,000
Per
second. I'm
second.
just like, yo, I thought that I was on at my grandpa's house in Compton when we were dropping the Coco sweaters where I made 25 grand in like 30 minutes.
Right.
Like going from like sleeping on a twin bed at my grandma's house, like, you know, to like being on like Wix at that time on my Wix website, like with Stripe as my payment provider, you know, like
What's that stripe?
yeah, telling someone like, yo, like if I could just get $5,000 investment, I'll be a millionaire.
Talk about
Yeah.
that feeling
You know
though.
what I'm
Like, what was
saying?
that like? Just
that's what me
Bro,
and Scotty used to say too.
So going back to of course, like I remember, bro, I got stories to. If y'all let me go, I can tell these kids stories about y'all, man. Me, Scotty, Jordan, Rodney, Denny. At some point, Larry would pull up. It was we literally got our own incubator, bro.
Yeah.
Like we literally are like Taz and Virgil.
that's
and
that,
Don C.
and that's what
We've
we
talked-
talked about
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
we've
talked about
pictures in
that.
our own way between Carlos, Denny,
Yeah.
everybody in the squad. Like
Yeah.
everybody's doing their thing.
I love Carlos, bro. Like
yeah,
me, you know,
I
me and
remember y'all's
Carlos,
Super Bowl.
our little
Yeah.
Super Bowl beef.
I'm glad that blossomed into something good.
Nah, I
'cause
love Los, bro. Like I really do love Carlos because I know where he came from.
Yep.
And like Carlos is similar to me, bro. He don't give a fuck
At all.
Like he don't want to be cool with you. Like he wants to, you know.
But if you respect him, he's 100% respectful back.
You don't want to know why I kind of like hated on Carlos?
Because y'all the same people.
Nah, because he had a dad
Mm-hmm.
that backed him. It wasn't about the money, bro. It was like the beef was his dad being behind him. I'm like,
Yeah, I
why
remember
are
that.
you taking up for this grown ass man? But I didn't even realize that Carlos was like 22, 23 at that time.
Yeah, he was young.
Right? He's still like not even 30
Yeah,
yet.
maybe,
know?
maybe
No,
close
he's
He's like
not, bro.
29.
He's like
Yeah.
28, 28.
But I respected it because, you know, my pops was young when my mom passed away and he kind of was fucked up by that. So seeing Carlos's father figure, and I'm like, oh, your daddy's Carlos Sr. and you're Carlos Jr. and you look just like him. I was kind of envious. And I told his dad when me and Carlos and his pops met up in Soho, New York,
Oh, wow.
maybe last summer.
When his
And
dad was living out there?
his dad doesn't still live out there?
I think he moved back.
Yeah. Anyway, we met up in Soho, bro, and we were chopping it up, and I'm like, bro, you're a real ass nigga, bro. Like, you're 50 years old. You could probably, like, bang any chick you want. Like, you know, and, like, I fuck with you, bro. Like, and we've been talked about that whole little Super Bowl bet shit, and I get it. You know, Carlos was, like, coming into his bread. He had the Nep Studios, the whole floor.
Yeah.
You know, people thought he was living great, but, you know, he was swimming in debt off his ambition.
Yeah.
You know, so he put his money up, I put my money up, and like I lost. I bet against Brady. Like, you know, that's the kind of guy I am. Like, fuck y'all. Y'all all betting with Tom Brady. Like, maybe he will lose this year. Carlos was smart. He bet with Brady. He got my money, and like we had the little back and forth tiff. But like, yeah, like I just respect him so much, bro, because I seen where he come from, like I said, and I see what he's become. And like you were saying, when you guys were with him, he inspires you to make your bed. Carlos inspired me to go to the gym in the morning, like, you know, clean my house. Like, yeah, like he's
he
inspirational.
gets shit the fuck done though. Like, he'll wake up early and it's just a very itemized day throughout the whole day, and he gets a lot done.
And that's what it was like for me coming up, bro. I literally felt accomplished when I would have my little paper and I have my little 15 points. And check, you know? And that time, like, where we started the Chanel sweaters, bro, like, at the Starbucks. So we did the Chanel sweater, me and David, and, you know, and I've always been logistical with stuff. So he was the creative. I was the logistical guy. We collaborated on the sweater. We did the Fendi sweater. The Fendi sweater came out. We did a Rolex sweater that never came out. A similar aesthetic. We did a Jesus sweater. And we dropped jerseys, too, with the sweaters. We had, like, the Christ jersey, 33.
A reversible one.
Reversible mesh jersey. Like, you know, so that was our first drop. Yeah. So we make that shit. We go to the Delamo Mall. There's a printer right next to the Chick-fil-A that does heat transfers. So we go to the Slauson Swap Meet, and David's like, yo, let's get this Pro Club sweater. And I'm like, nah, it doesn't feel right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's too bulky. So I'm like, I know a spot. So we go down to American Apparel. We get their sweater, little like midweight sweater, crew neck sweater. You know, it costs us like $80. We drive back to the Delamo Mall. You're from LA, you know, South Bay.
Torrance.
Like, Torrance, bro. That's like an hour drive in traffic. Go back, get the screen print, Chanel, Coco, all the hits. Cost us like $150 for that. So now we're at like $250. David throws it on. We snap a picture in front of Chick-fil-A. Like, first ever Homme Femme photo. Like, right? Walking through the mall, everybody in that mall is just like, yo, where'd you buy that? And I'm like, shit, we might be onto something here. So at that point, we're walking through the mall. Everybody wants it. Throw it on my Instagram. Kids are asking for it. And at this point, Instagram is very viral. There's no algorithm to hold you back. They don't really know what they got. So, you know, people are seeing everything. You got 1,000 followers. 1,000 people are seeing your photo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we do that. A couple of kids asked me for one. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to sell this for too much because, like, the margin's crazy. So David, Sebastian is like, yo, let's put the zippers on the side. And I think
I was going to ask
You're
about
like,
that.
damn it, that's going to add more fucking cost.
But the zippers just took
It
off.
set
That
it
was
off.
shit was popping at that time though. Like zippers was in. Like that was
But
on
let's
everything.
talk a little shit, Scott. It was, but no one was doing it.
Yeah.
I know where David got that reference from now. It's from 424 on Fairfax. Like, you know, so before that, I met Rocky like through Guillermo from 424, who Sebastian was working for, drawing on Timberlands. So like, you know, David Sebastian, like at that time he had a song called Pussy Marijuana, and allegedly, I don't want to tell his story for him, but allegedly, like it was a battle from RCA Records to sign him or A$AP Rocky. And RCA Records went with A$AP Rocky. So him and David kind of had like David had a little rivalry with Rocky. You know, he felt like he got slighted. But David is very creative. He draws shit by hand.
I still remember those boots were fucking huge back in the day.
Custom Timberlands.
Yeah.
With the art all on them.
I mean, that was during the debate about them being mass produced at one point, though, right?
Yeah, it was a debate. He was doing that shit all by hand.
I don't know the story behind that. I ran into it's the guy who did the
roses?
crossfishes. No, the crossfishes all over the boots.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I ran into him at Blank Canvas years later.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was we were talking, and I was like, the name got brought up in the circle. I'm like, oh man, I remember that guy used to do the boots. Like, whatever happened to that guy? And he's like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, my bad.
Talented as
I was like,
fuck,
no
bro.
disrespect. I was like, I didn't know where like he did someone's pool table, someone else's. Whose house was it? He painted somebody's pool table in their house too. Kevin Durant's or something like that.
Bro, he did the whole for the Tisa
shit was
Cameron
tight.
Christmas party. He spray painted the whole upper room, bro. Like I literally gave him spray paint, bro. We had no money. Like, and those were the best times, bro. Where I feel like now, if I can go back to those times I had where I would have to be so resourceful, where I couldn't just throw money at everything, you know what I mean? Like, those were the best times. But, like, yeah, so we made the sweater. So, like I said, I've always had a little business mind, bro. I, like, sold I did like prepaid legal fresh out of high school. So like I'm like trying to get people to buy law.
I haven't heard that prepaid legal.
Yeah.
I almost signed up for that at one point because I was living a very
prepaid legal?
I was living a very dangerous life.
Yeah.
And so it sounded good on
You need
paper to have that legal
an attorney
backup.
on retainer.
Yeah.
Prepaid legal is like something to where you pay like $30 a month and you have the power of an attorney at your service, the top law firms. And as a kid, you were able to like sell it and like make money. So
Like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I sell you a membership.
$250 up front, $30 a month.
I get $100 for you signing up, and I build a little team.
Yeah.
You know,
But you would have had a lawyer.
It's like
on
Kayani
that.
or what?
Yeah.
I was about to say it's just like.
And it's like Prime America or Mary Kay or shit like that, you know?
It's
But
that Herbalife.
that shit taught me business structure. Like I learned structure. I learned how to like build a team. I learned how to approach people.
Right.
I learned my demeanor meant something, you know? But imagine me being 19 trying to sell 35-year-old Larry like on financial stability. Like, hey, sir, would you like to buy a will? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like you're 19. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
But I had a little 2-year running at it, taught me a little structure. So by the time I got to Homme Femme, I knew like how to start an LLC, like go down to the city office and register your fictitious business name.
Yeah.
So I tell David, I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna start the fictitious business name, get a little wholesale license so we can get these American Apparel sweaters for cheaper.
Yeah, price break everything.
Yeah. So we did that. Started making the sweaters. Like, it was crazy, bro. So one of Tiana Taylor's dancers, like, hits me up, like, yo, Tiana wants a sweater. And, like, I'm like, for a show. You know, Tiana Taylor, she's always been influential.
And she was
with
popping
Jay-Z at the
She
time.
She had just
Just
gotten
signed to
that-
Jay-Z,
Yeah,
so
she was
big.
booming, bro. This is well before she did, like, what's the song with Kanye where she was like,
Yeah,
like, you know?
yeah.
So Tiana's popping, bro. And, like, Tiana Taylor was the first person to wear Homme Femme. Whenever I see
Really?
Tiana, I always thank her. Like
She was the first?
If she walks in here right now, like I will thank her and buy her whatever she wants. So yeah, she was the first. Wow. So we sent her the first person to like celebrity to like put it on.
So then that makes sense when she was wearing the olive tracksuit years later.
Yes. And
Okay. I
she
remember
probably
that.
doesn't even know my name still, but
Right.
whenever I see her, I'd be like, yo, thank you so much. Like, so she threw Homme Femme on, she put it on her Instagram. It's a photo of her and her dancer. They're on the Jeep in Harlem. And, like, she wore that, and literally, like, hundreds of people came to my Instagram. I put it on a pre-sale from my twin bed at my grandma's house.
Let's go.
Yeah, and, like, I sold, like, 50 sweaters, and they weren't ready. They were pre-order.
How much were they? They were like $350. They were expensive.
Nah, they weren't. They were, like, $180.
I feel like it was so expensive.
But
Maybe
you-
180 what felt like 350.
that was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at the time
yeah.
that was
To-
like crazy for a
To
sweater.
interrupt real quick, I'm on Grailed. I looked them up. Are these real?
No. Let me
Okay.
see.
You want to know what's
There's
crazy?
people
The
reselling
first time
it
I
as
ever
real.
heard that Drew had made that, it's crazy because
This one's real. The white one's real.
Seeing it
Let's
on
buy
eBay.
The
it.
white one on the right is real.
I used
Wait,
to see
this-
that
this
shit
one
on
up here?
eBay, bro. Back
Yeah.
then,
Bro.
I remember seeing it on eBay. And then when I first heard that it was you that did
Yeah.
that, I was like, that's
So
crazy.
going back in,
Yeah.
in 2013, I was selling sweaters in the summer. That's how crazy the
Yeah.
demand
That's
was.
the
for
Is
demand.
that.
that one real?
The Fendi's real, yeah. I can eyeball the shit.
Let's buy all this shit.
So crazy as it may seem, right? People were knocking that shit off.
Yeah.
People didn't know, like, I think that Homme Femme carries so much weight to this day still because the only thing that was like, it was unique. Yes, we were using the Chanel logos. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that wasn't a big part of why it was hot. But
It was the piece. It was the zippers. It was the way you put it together. Chanel never put nothing like that together before.
And going back, the same way one of my fanciest fucking illusionist dreams is to one day do a collab with Chanel whenever they open up outside of just women's wear, the way Supreme did with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
After Supreme sued Louis Vuitton sued Supreme.
Yeah.
Right.
And that
For
changed the culture,
boards
right?
and the box
So
logo.
we're talking about changing the culture. So like we're still in 2013, and like at that point, the coolest brands on the internet were
Diamond.
Pyrex.
Yeah.
No, Diamond was Diamond. Nicki
Pyrex.
You're talking like
Nicki
the
Diamond's
cool
a legend.
kid, yeah.
Pyrex. Nicki Diamond's a legend.
Ben Trill.
No, not even Ventrilo.
Givenchy was big.
Pyrex,
Hood by
Hood
Air.
by Air,
Hood by
and
Air
Homme
for
Femme.
sure.
Those
Yeah.
were the three coolest brands on the net.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hood by Air. you
Pyrex,
can't
Hood by
forget
Air, and
about
Homme
them.
Femme. Any little Asian kid hype beast, white kid hype beast, Harlem boy hype beast was wearing Pyrex, HBA, or Homme Femme. I'm not going to say what order, but
It was in the mix.
Yes, it was in the mix. We were everywhere, bro. We were about to be in Colette. We had stores in Malaysia, Japan. Bro, right. I was doing $25,000 from my grandpa's back room in Compton. My grandpa's like, this is my grandson, Andrew. He has champagne taste with a beer budget. And I'm like, look, bro, I made $25,000 right now. Yeah. And he's like, man, he don't understand it. It's not money. Yeah. He's old school. Yeah. Born in the 30s, working. He paid $14,000 for his house in 1965.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then he starts seeing me having inventory in the back room, folding sweaters. Then my little brother started helping, and then we had to get one of his friends to help. Then I would go to China, and my brother would still be helping me ship orders and shit. And then he's like, damn, boy, you selling a lot of them sweaters. And So I didn't know much about the game, bro. I was still literally writing addresses on stickies from the post office. I go to the post office in Compton on Santa Fe and Alondra, and I literally be in the line with duffel bags of sweaters, one by one. Yeah. Express mail, international to Ireland. I'll have to write out the customs form, and I'll be there for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
I had to do that. I had to do that for you.
Yeah.
They hated us over there.
Tiana wore that shit, man, and then more celebrities started asking for it. Keisha Cole wore it.
Chris Brown had some the early
Chris
collection.
Brown had some early stuff. You guys are from Texas. What's that guy named? Drink in my cup.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Yeah. I remember meeting Kurt Cobain with this artist named Jay Park, a K-pop artist. And Kurt was so cocky, bro. He's literally probably the most cockiest artist I ever met. And I felt at this time his buzz was kind of gone. But artists, they don't, So he's so cocky. He's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I made this, Kurt Cole. This is for you. And he's like, all right, whatever, man. Blah, blah, blah. Literally, a couple hours later, he got it on. People were just throwing that shit on. Everyone was throwing it on. 2 Chainz wore it. He had the red one.
Everyone we hand delivered
to the
Tory
Lanez.
Tory Lanez put it on. The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd wore it?
The Weeknd.
The red and black.
The Black Bomber.
That's crazy, bro.
Tory Lanez.
I never knew that.
Party Next Door.
Party still fucks with the brand hard.
I pulled up on Young Dolph.
Yeah. Young Dolph wear the Coco sweater?
No, just in general.
Oh, you're talking about just later on in the
general,
future.
Just naming some people.
I was still stuck on the Coco sweater.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Tiesto was a big EDM DJ.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's tight.
And Wiz Khalifa wore it. But
when he had the yellow in his hair still?
Yeah, French Montana. I remember being at a French Montana video. I had 10 sweaters in my bag, and French wanted it, threw it on in the video, and he was dating Khloe Kardashian at the time, and Khloe seen that shit, bro, and she was just like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go even more viral, but I messed up. You know why I messed up? Because I was so eager to just give them out that I gave them to some background dancer girls, and when Khloe seen the girls that she thought were beneath her,
she didn't want
the sweater, she didn't want to wear it no more. She left it. She had it in her hand the whole day. And I slipped up and gave it to the girls in front of her. And she didn't wear it. Yeah. But there's allegedly photos of Kourtney Kardashian wearing it. It was a pretty crazy time, bro.
Crazy the influence of just
Well, now that
a
you
person
say
wearing
Wiz
it.
Khalifa, that might have been where I saw it because I was the biggest diehard Wiz Khalifa fan.
Taylor Gang or Die.
Taylor Gang or Die. Chuck Taylor's. I literally bought Chuck Taylor's.
Did you drink Bombay and Gin?
Bro. Of course, bro. I only drink
Rostrum
Bombay
Records?
because all that shit, bro.
That's tight.
But because of that, I think that's where I saw that.
The sweater. And that was around the time where Ian Connor had started styling Wiz. Wiz never cared about clothes, really. And, in the Cushion Orange Juice days, he's just a cool stoner,
Yeah.
And then he was the first person to do daily vlogs on
Day to day.
YouTube.
Day to day.
Dated.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I would watch every single one that got uploaded.
Me, bro, I watch every one of Wiz's vlogs.
Yes.
That's how I know Burner.
Right.
Yeah. He used to just pull up on the bus.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not
and just bring
familiar
him
with
the
that
trees.
stuff.
Yes.
I'm not
Burner,
familiar.
bro.
Yes.
Would you say that Wiz kind of had a little bit to do with why Burner's so popular in our culture?
Absolutely,
A little.
1,000%.
I'm not going to speak for Burner,
No, it's the whole reason.
Yeah,
I would say, obviously, he
It's
built
the
an
whole
incredible business structure just from the
But that was before.
marijuana
That was even
standpoint,
before.
right?
I just remembered him as being the weed guy, and he would pull
Yeah,
up to
that's
on
what I'm
his
saying.
bus.
The
He'd
weed
pull
guy
up-
had rap too. Didn't he
With that
start
rap
rapping?
too.
Yeah.
I just remember, I did see some Wiz episodes because he'd get on the bus and Wiz would be like, "What do you got?" And he'd always be pulling out new gadgets and things and
Yep.
introducing new
Exactly.
weed
Yeah.
stuff
I for
to
sure sure
them.
found Burner through Wiz.
Yeah.
That I do remember.
And
And
I'm like-
Currency too. Currency played a big part of that.
Currency was the OG.
Yeah,
before
I was
Wiz.
already on Currency
I was on
from
Currency
Cash Money.
I was on Currency because of Wayne.
I was on
But-
Currency because of No Limit.
But-
Don't forget, he was a 504
that's what I'm
boy.
saying.
But there was a
like-
big break.
A lot of people don't
and
know that.
Currency came back and became relevant again because of the
like
Wiz.
Juicy J did with Wiz Khalifa.
and Juicy J.
Juicy,
Yeah.
bro. Wiz is
Wiz connected a lot.
He
did.
of
He did.
the dots back then.
and Wiz was a connector too. He had a good relationship with Rocky.
Yeah.
You know, nah, bro. Wiz, you're right, Ian. Wiz was the first vlogging like artist that I remember seeing.
Lil B.
And, like,
They were on
day.
World Star. They would drop on World Star every day,
Yeah.
and that was it.
yeah, Wiz inspired me, bro. Cushion Orange Juice, to me, is probably one of the best mixtapes of all
Bro,
time.
Still remember
I'm a
getting at it.
huge.
I love the Cabin
And,
Fevers.
and that was
Yeah.
Cabin
also
Fever's fire.
that was
Yeah.
also
One and two.
when obviously when Drake dropped, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, like all at that same time. But I was at that time, Wiz was
Bro,
my
Even before Cushion
Number
Orange Juice,
one.
bro. I was listening to all the older
Do-
stuff. I
do-
still listen to it.
Taylor
remember when you found Drake?
Alderdice.
yeah, Taylor Alderdice
Oh, of
is
course
good.
Yeah.
I think we
still
all
remember
kind of
Drake.
live by Drake though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
like
course.
like we all like me. It's
Drake's my
funny.
favorite artist.
It's funny. We went to El Molino. Y'all
Yeah.
went to El Molino.
Yeah.
You
Had
know,
to.
like everybody like after hours at El Molino.
What's the other one too that we went
Drake.
to?
Not hot. Was it
The other
Hakkasan?
spot. Yeah, Hakkasan.
It was Hakkasan.
No,
We also
no,
went to
Budokan.
Yeah,
Budokan.
Budokan.
Yeah.
yeah,
What'd he say?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Budokan.
said,
Got
when
our
I'm with my
bitches up in
manager with
Budokan.
Budokan. Bro,
We went there
Drake,
just because of that.
Drake hasn't been known to be like a fashion icon, but he definitely sways the culture. Like,
Absolutely.
I will tell
All the
you,
time,
lifestyle
bro.
for
for
sure.
the longest, until maybe just like 2 or 3 years, I used to hate how he dressed. I just didn't like it at all.
But he
He
don't.
was so big and just could not dress.
Yeah, I mean
Now he
Drake,
dresses
the boy,
good.
man. We're really cool with Drake, man. Like really cool with the camp, man. But like Drake, bro. Like I think Drake has been leading the way for me as far as like the tone since like I want to say, Take Care. Like I like this first album, but like, bro, when that fucking Take Care came on, bro.
Different.
And that album was it's one of my favorite albums. It's my favorite Drake album.
Fireworks
Yeah.
with Alicia.
Oh, the first album, yeah.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
man,
He
He just
that
never
whole time
misses,
was,
bro.
Yeah.
You never miss
But
it.
yeah.
Take Care.
It's his-
Weekend.
It's his best album to
Yeah.
me.
It is.
House
What's your
of
favorite Drake
Balloons.
album?
Take Care.
It's mine too.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Because that was the same time as My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, too,
Bro,
right?
what a-
It was
I
the
like
same
if-
time. Take Care and that's
Bruh.
the same time.
What's the one with the clouds and it's a cartoon head?
Nothing was the same.
Oh, nothing was the same.
was the same.
Amazing.
as
Good one,
mine.
too.
That's one
so
of my favorites.
when Nothing With the Same came out, that was so impactful on my life because that's around the time 2013 when I started Homme Femme, and I was in China by myself. My big homie. So look,
Hold on. Who's that guy, the crazy guy in the hood that came with you to the first time in China? The one you still give packs to?
my boy Mims.
Is that who it is?
Let me tell you how I went to China. So look, so I'm doing the sweaters, right? I'm making them in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like at first, I'm printing it with the first one at the mall. So I'm hanging out with this guy, my boy Mims from Pasadena. He introduced me to this big figure that was probably one of the most influential people in my life. His name is Sean. If you live in Pasadena, you know him as Big S. He has a son named DJ Kiss, who was a little kid at that point. He's grown now, right? So Sean was going to China, just hustling, just buying furniture, importing toilet paper, selling it to the city, like getting whatever he could get and put it on a container, bring it back, getting money. He's filling up containers,
Yeah.
which I didn't understand at that point, but now I get. You know, you drive by the port, you're like, yo, what's the point of all these containers? Like,
We never understood. We
Yeah.
went by there the other day. It was insane. Or the other
that's
month.
the money, bro. Like, you know, that's the money right there. So Sean takes me to China. And I'm sitting at his house in Pasadena, and I'm living good, bro. I got like 20 bands in my account. I never had 20 bands in my account. And I'm living great, bro.
How old are you?
25 at this point, you know? And like, you know, and I'm like, I'm going up. You know, every time I drop, I'm making 25, 30, 40 bands. I'm wholesaling now. You know, I'm getting some money on the side too. I got a store in Hong Kong. I'm selling to this store in Vegas called New. Like, which is like,
Shout
you know,
out, new bro.
Yeah.
Shout out Angel.
Yeah, Angel. They
Angel
made
owes me
such-
like 5 bands, but I'm gonna let that slide.
They made so much good. They made such good essential
I'm gonna let him
wear.
slide. I'm gonna let that slide too, because he copied my boy Davin with.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
He totally
Wow.
boot gained his brand.
I
Like,
remember
yeah,
that
but I'm
conversation.
gonna let that slide now, bro. But yeah, we're good now. You know.
Water under the bridge.
But yeah, so I opened up the store new, and like, I'm like, my boy is like, yo, you want to go to China? I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm scared to fly that far though. I'm looking at the map. I'm like, yo, that's 15 hours. Like, nah. Like, I'm scared, bro. So he's like, yo, I'll take you to China, but you got to buy my ticket, you got to buy your ticket, and you got to buy Mike's ticket. I'm like, that's like $3,700. I got 20 bands in my account. That's like fucking 25% of my net worth.
Exactly,
but not understanding how important this trip is.
So he's like, you don't got to go. You can sit on the porch and do the same shit you're doing. So he's like, if you buy my ticket, I'll show you everything. So I'll pay for the hotel. I'll show you everything about China. So I thought to myself, and I said, you know what, fuck it. So I paid the $3,700. We fly China Southern to China. I'm sitting next to a baby and his mom. Like, I'm in coach. Like, I'm having an anxiety attack.
Coach on the way to China?
Bro, I don't know what first class is, bro. I'm just happy to be on a plane, bro.
I've never
You know
sat
what I'm
first class. So.
I'm happy to have a passport at this point, bro. Yeah. You gotta understand, like, from my family, bro, like
y'all wasn't traveling, going to Disneyland.
We was going to Disneyland every year, twice a year.
It gets closer.
Yeah.
Oh, like y'all lived in California.
Yeah.
Okay.
We was doing that. We was going to Sizzlers after church. You know, I've
been to Sizzlers.
I had the cool JCPenney's fix, but I wasn't getting no Rockaware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had the South Pole. First day of high school, bro, my grandma wasn't really much to buy me fancy clothes. You know, I got the JCPenney's, lot 29, those little South Pole fix and shit, So first day of high school, I got on a full South Pole fit. My grandma bought me 4 fix. I love you. Thank you so much. I get into school and the kids is clowning me. Like, bro, this ain't middle school. Take that shit off.
What?
Take the South Pole off, start boosting Rockaware and shit. And that's where I started really like scrambling to get clothes. Kind of where I started falling into love with like streetwear. So following back going to China, I'm on a plane, having a freaking anxiety attack, heart pounding. I'm like, 15 hours, there's no TV, a kid's crying, it smells like, Chinese food, like, I'm going to China, nobody speaks my language, English really, nobody looks like me, and I'm just like, what did I get myself into? So the flight attendant gives me an aspirin and a ginger ale, I take a nap, and we're good, right? I get to China, bro, and my life changed. Like, so I'm at this
That's
point.
The same factory. What's her name?
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah, you guys know Rosemary.
Yeah.
Me and Rosemary don't work together no more, but we did like 8 years together, bro.
You still bring your business or anything like that from people? Or?
She still works with Liz from Pure.
Nice.
A couple of people,
Shout out Liz.
Yeah, my girl Liz, but
she's a legend too, man.
Nah, Liz you should definitely have Liz on here one day.
She's a legend.
She's a psychopath just like me, but she's definitely a legend.
You know what I'm thinking about these the Chanel jersey you did too?
Yeah.
I was a really big fan of Vinny Chase.
V-Chase.
Yeah, V-Chase.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just remember he dropped
he had all sorts of Chanel.
He dropped the Chanel ski
Mask.
mask.
The ski mask.
After that.
And he dropped the Rolex crew neck. I remember I ordered the Rolex.
That turned into like one of his logos for the gentleman's thing that he did or whatever.
But I'm saying this probably has something to do with seeing
Bro,
that.
V-Chase
We're all
was
influenced.
Right.
I don't know if he was before Sap or not.
No, V-Chase was before ASAP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Kid Art were dropping.
Kid Art.
Kid Art's a legend.
Bro, I used to watch all Kid Art's videos.
Legend.
Everything.
Legend. We all did. Me and Ian were big V-Chase fans.
And Kid Art too. Bro.
And it's like, now looking back, I'm like, bro, I don't know who was first, but if you're, if you're stamping
V-Chase
that,
was first
then,
before Rocky.
Kid
As
Art
far as the world knowing him.
literally
Yeah.
the same style, flow. Everything was pretty much almost identical, both from New York.
But the videos Kid Art was doing,
killing it, bro.
V-Chase
was unmatched.
That
Next level
sunroof,
crazy, right?
Yeah, where he's hanging out.
Hanging out, yes,
hanging over
bro.
the sunroof, and then the one where he's in the Shacknoses hanging
Yeah.
out the doors.
Bro, I bought Shaq Nose. I bought a new pair of Shaq
Dog.
Noses. I had to get a pair of Shaq Noses.
I got the Shaq Noses because I wanted to.
V-Chase brought the luxurious,
Yes.
high-end
High-end.
To the
lifestyle
streetwear,
to
or
us.
to rap, yeah.
Right? He had the
streetwear.
bad girls with him.
Yes,
He
bro.
was eating caviar.
He taught me about the Plaza Hotel.
Yeah,
outside of Plaza.
bro.
And that's why the first time I went to New York, I said, I have to go outside Plaza Hotel. And I sat, there's an Apple store right across. And I sat at the Apple store is underground. But I sat across at the top where the entrance is, and I played that song,
It's
V-Chase, and I just
crazy.
sat and looked at the Plaza Hotel.
It's crazy you bring up V-Chase, man.
First time I went to
'Cause-
New York.
Bro, we were jamming V-Chase heavy back at the shop back in the 2012, 13.
and you know who used to fuck with Heavy Taz.
I didn't know that.
I would love to see V-Chase. Bro,
It was just felt like him and Kid Art versus the world whenever
bro,
you
nah,
watch
V-Chase
it.
was a young G, bro.
Also ahead of his time.
Ahead.
Let me ask you a
I
question.
tried
Ian.
DMing him once.
Do you feel like it's kind of a curse to be ahead of your time sometimes?
Yes.
Of course it is.
It can be if you don't maintain. Because if you look at Vinny Chase and you look at you, right? Like Vinny Chase, like he was way ahead of his time, but then I'm not sure where he's been.
I mean,
what
Kid
he's
Art ended
been
up
doing.
going on to be
Doing
a
future
video
videos and
director.
shit.
Sure.
But if you can't pivot and realize, hey, I can't be ahead of the time because being ahead of the time doesn't make money.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
even
there's all sorts of rappers. Lil B raps like how people rap now, but he was doing that 10 years ago.
even me, I would argue like the music that I was making the 10 years before I got into the that's why I never got on. We were way ahead of our time. We were rapping with a live band and had this whole like rap rock thing before it was ever a thing, before Jay-Z and Linkin Park made that album together.
Right.
That was kind of what we were already on way before, and we were way ahead of our time.
Yo.
And I still, every once in a while, I'll throw on our old shit and I'm just like, wow, like,
I'm not gonna
this
lie.
was still like,
I feel like our store downstairs was ahead of its time,
It
but we just
absolutely
happened to
was.
maintain it because the culture shifted that direction, and we kept the doors open.
absolutely what we
'Cause
were
we're hybrid.
what we were doing at our previous job.
It's still ahead of its
Yeah.
time
That
right
was
now.
way-
It is.
It's still ahead of its time
People
right
are
now.
still converting.
Until regular brands are not afraid to put their clothes into a retail resale shop, it'll be ahead of its
I
time.
can speak to that. You know why? Because
Because you probably have doors.
because
like that.
it's I can talk about that, guys, because like being in this industry, right? Perception's everything, right? So you got these people that think they're better than you because their brand is sold at Neiman
Subi.
Marcus or they're sold at Nordstrom's.
Pleasures.
But you don't even know the guy
Subi.
that sells at Nordstrom's, and I know this from experience because I sell to Luisa Villaroma,
Right.
Right,
Okay.
which is one of the finest, most prestigious retailers ever.
Yeah.
Like Florence, Italy. Italy is the pinnacle of production in fashion luxury. Gucci, all these people are Fendi, they're all Italian.
Gucci
right?
made in Italy.
Yeah, come on. And hip hop is everything, bro. Like you said, you know, you're thinking about Jay-Z and Linkin Park, right? Yo, Jay, I'm on Boeing Jets, Global Express, out the country, but the Blueberry still connect. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, and where I'm going back to Flash and his uncle and Lovebug Starsky and all that. Like, bro, hip hop is the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And at a point, you
In a
guys
million
mentioned
different
Ski
ways.
Master Slum God and Triple X RIP. There was a point where there was nothing but hip hop. You had punk rock, became punk rap.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Everything became hip hop. Now I see like more classic punk rock starting to go its own way again, subtly. But like, bro, hip hop controls everything, bro. Like in the fashion, the music, the sports.
The
Even
influences-
for country, you have Kane Brown. now,
Yeah, Kane
like,
Brown, exactly, bro.
doing collabs.
It's
with,
even like the old screamo music that ended up turning into Juice World.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
XXX.
And
The,
the funniest,
Blink 182s
Slum.
and stuff that
yeah, Blink One, bro. But if you look at a music video, Joel Madden and Benji Madden was blinging like Birdman,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I think that's me in the fashion industry, bro. Like I look at a guy like Jerry or Luigi, and I say they're more of a Birdman.
yeah.
I'm more of like a Slim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Slim guy, you know, he got just as much money as
Yeah.
Baby, but you really don't see Slim too much. You
Yeah.
know, not a lot of people know that I own Homme Femme.
Yeah.
Right.
Like T's like, yo, like Baby don't know you. These niggas don't know you. I'm like, that's fine with me, bro, because I seen a lot of these people be hype and not have the longevity.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the reason that my brand has lasted so long is because we've had periods where we had to kind of slow down. And even with the Chanel sweaters, bro, it was like, damn, this shit's so hard to get because I didn't have thousands of dollars to produce mass quantities. If I could have put 500 on my site, maybe kids wouldn't have been so pressed to get it because it sold out so
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
You know, like they had to wait 3 weeks to get their sweater. They were giving me their money up front and they trusted me. So they wanted this sweater so much that they're sending me their $180. I remember a girl, I'll never forget, one of my first 2 orders, one came from Ireland. And I'm like, yo, I've been on a plane a few times, didn't have a passport. And I'm like, yo, my brand is global. Like I got
Facts.
girls buying my shit in Ireland,
Right.
Australia. Like I'm like, fuck, this is tight. So like that exclusivity is what made it tight at that point. And even like in those points where we were in the warehouse in Deep Ellum, and you know, we got these purple sweatshirts that say large, but they fit like a small, you know, we're trying to figure these things out. Like so many things happen for
The
us.
striped denim was a pandemic for us too, and we fixed it.
Bro, I remember
over the phone, FaceTime.
I remember Scotty being like, yo, the 34 and the 38, the leg opening don't need to be that different.
Yeah, we had to notch everything
Yeah.
down over the phone on FaceTime. I put
Yeah.
them on. Larry's holding the phone to you, and I'm telling you how to reduce everything, and then you critiqued it, and then that became literally your bread and butter.
Yeah. So the striped denim came out, and a lot of people say, like, I'm gonna say something too now. I'm gonna be a little controversial. So a lot of people be like, yo, like, for instance, I hate to keep bringing up Little Baby, right? So our Set, right? I like Set. Me and Set are cool, right? But so Little Baby's like, yo, like, he's like, yo, like, allegedly, like, he didn't like the fact that the Homme Femme striped pants look like Amiri's.
Yeah, but we did it before, Amiri. Oh, way before.
Thank you, bro.
Way before.
And I put this on my mom's soul, bro.
Way before.
I put this on my unborn child. We did not copy Amiri with the
Straight
original
up.
pants.
Straight
we
up.
definitely did when we put the racing stripe on the side.
Right.
But we had the stripe before then.
Yep.
So I'm looking on the internet. I see Travis Scott at a Houston Rockets game. He's wearing some black jeans with a red stripe on the side. And then a couple days, I screenshot it on my iPhone, 20,000 photos, all screenshots, right? I'm just seeing inspiration all day, all night, right? So I'm on there. I see Travis wearing what turned out to be Balenciaga striped pants, right? And then I'm like seeing the Calabasas drop with Yay. And he dropped the striped pants with the 3 stripes that said Calabasas. And I was like, like, let's figure this out. So I have my boy Byron.
Byron.
Yeah. Byron, who's been by my side since day one. Me and Byron worked for Taz together when Byron was doing their website, and Taz was like, no, you can't get a hat. You gotta wait. But Byron always gets his merch though. He don't wait. He always gets his shit. He'll press you for it.
Yo, he's fly too.
Yeah, no, Byron is definitely fly.
Yep.
Like he puts it together for his demo of big guys.
Yo, big fly for real.
Yeah, big fly. And Byron lost a lot of weight doing that F45.
Yeah, no, we were actually talking in the DMs the other day about it. He was telling me that he's really, really into it.
Yeah, so Byron, man. So I sent Byron the Travis Scott pant. I sent him the Calabasas pant. I'm like, let's put Homme Femme on the side. So we do that. We make them. We make them over in China. We get the samples. We do a production. They come to their warehouse in Deep Ellum. The pants are good up until the knee.
They're like Jinkos almost.
Yeah, but they're super baggy at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes. And this comes after a year of us being broke, not getting no money, like us sharing some gator together. And like, y'all took me to like this little buffet spot. And I'm just like, don't worry, bro. Broke Boys, Future Millionaires.
Yes.
They came
We
up
still need to make that brand.
Yeah. So they come up with Broke Boys, Future Millionaires. And I'm like, that shit's hard. And we're just all together in the warehouse, like, yo, like, Larry's like, my BMW broke down, like, got to catch the train home. And I just feel bad, bro, because I got all my shit in their warehouse, and, like, that Scott's living in, and it's not selling.
There was 1 month when you paid me and Larry total $514.
Crazy.
For the whole month.
So the way the warehouse worked was,
I'll never forget
they
it.
came to my house in L.A. Like, have you guys told the story before?
Nah, kind of. I mean, on hexes, but it wasn't anything like with you there to be able to help.
So I'll tell it for y'all.
Yeah, please, go for it.
So Scotty and Larry obviously worked at Status down in Texas. So they hit me up one day like, yo, we don't work there no more. I'm like, fuck, I'm not getting no money from Status no more. Like, damn, I was dependent on that little 3 to 5K Larry spend with me every month. I'm like, damn, just lost a store. Like, so he's like, but don't worry, we're doing a distribution. And I'm like, nigga, distribution? Like, distribute this bread, nigga. Like, I need my 5 bands. Like, they were buying everything. So
you're still doing it out of the apartment or
out of my loft downtown LA.
Loft.
Like, I got all this Homme Femme stacked up. Like, so they do the distro. They come to my house with your friend. We take that picture in front of my fridge on the wall.
Amanda.
Yeah. And
shout out Amanda.
They're like, so Marcel had actually told me this. He's like, yo, what was it, 5 years ago? Like, I think it was like 5 years ago to yesterday is when we came to Dallas. So they're like, yeah, so we start shipping all our stuff to Dallas. Me, Byron, my brother, we go to Chris Brown's New Year's party, get sloppy drunk at his house, banging out all these random supermodel chicks, and then we hop on a flight to Dallas. We come out here to meet these guys, and they start distributing Homme Femme at their warehouse. And at that point, we were doing really well. Like, you guys had the Revez jackets popping. And
you had just did the bomber with the 3 stripes and navy black and army green. Those did really well.
So we do that. We come out here, and then I'm in Flash like a couple months later, and I'm at the warehouse. I shipped Flash a pack to Orlando.
He wasn't even in LA yet.
Yeah, he was. I met him in LA, but I think he went back to Florida or something.
Nice.
So I shipped him a pack of clothes. Like, yeah, you guys had the Homme Femme. We had that one collection in the warehouse. That was going to be the big break. It didn't sell well because the fitting was off. Because I didn't have that team behind me that that understood the part of the game.
This was the striped denim.
That was before the
this
striped
was
denim.
like the war ready one or whatever.
Yeah.
With the airplanes.
Crazy war stories.
Yeah, war
the
stories.
tees did good, but the sweaters
it was
and
a
all
crew
that
neck
got
with all that
stuck.
embroidery, like shrunk it and made it all fucking tight.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, it was way off.
Yes.
But we had triple layers to hold us over because they were still hot.
The triple layers.
So the triple layers was like his bread and butter before the striped denim.
It's insane that we
And-
haven't even touched on the triple layer
And the
yet.
crazy part is like he creted that trend, and then everyone else started doing it.
I heard Jason talking about it earlier.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
big
yeah.
deal. It really was a big deal.
Yeah, bro. So
Yo, Dallas was a triple layer city for a long
Triple
time.
D, triple layers.
I
Will
never got
McNair,
rid of
bro.
mine.
Will McNair.
I
Shout
never
out
got
Will.
rid of mine. They're in a box upstairs. I will not get rid of them. I have every single one
Yeah, I feel like I also have a pretty crazy archive.
of Homme Femme.
I think
Like one day we're gonna have like this.
I think the top 3 Homme Femme archivers are probably you, Byron, and my boy TB's.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
keep,
TB's,
do you keep
yeah.
an archive?
TB's, half his collection is courtesy of us.
Yeah.
We used to ship
Yo,
the
it's
pack.
still to this day when TB's needs something
TB?
to hit
Yeah.
the line.
Byron got everything in a big boy size. B's got everything in a medium. And
Do you
then
keep
Larry.
it? Do you keep your stuff?
You know what's funny, bro? In this industry, sometimes when it gets rough, you sell shit. And like I never like grailed a shoe, but like if we needed a medium to complete an order, we just shipped the medium. So Scotty had said something like maybe like when we first started talking, he's like, "We should just buy all this stuff back off Grailed." So we literally started buying stuff off Grailed and like putting the archive back together. So we got an archive from like the past few years, but the original stuff, bro, like bro, in this fashion industry, people won't tell you, bro. Like they say Instagram are people's highlights.
Right.
People aren't going to tell you that they were down to their last $300. Of
course.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wired 90 grand to my factory today. Cash is kind of slow right now, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's a cash flow business, y'all know. Like money in, money out. You know, at the end of the year, I pay myself now, so I'm good. But sometimes you got to do some crazy shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Larry had to sell his Yeezys to keep our business afloat, and I had to drain my bank account to get the warehouse.
Yeah.
I ate off McDonald's.
Bro, I remember y'all telling me many times, bro. I remember going with y'all when I came out here and y'all like, look, man, right there in Deep Ellum, we're going to open up right here. Like, this is going to be the spot. We almost got it. The city, the landlord don't know if he wants us to do clothing here or not. Like, I remember, bro, that's that point. I remember that night exactly. I landed in Dallas. Y'all showed me the spot. Knew after not selling Homme Femme for like 2 years, after fucking like having our shit, buy some striped jeans. I'm like, yeah, fuck Crooked. He had to come back. He roasted my shit and now he gave me 10 bands.
Yep.
Y'all show me the spot where your store's supposed to be, right there in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't do retail, y'all. Like, don't do it. They say it's gonna be bad. And like y'all just keep trucking and like keep aspiring behind the scenes.
After that, we waited like another 18 months. God told us to.
And then y'all hit me and y'all are like, baby Drew, like, we got a surprise for you. And I'm like, what? And then y'all show me the lease and the keys to the store. And I'm still behind the scenes like, yo, like, these motherfuckers are sick. Like, bro, retail is dying. Like, why would they do that? They're fucking idiots. Like, why would they open a store in the mall? No one goes to the mall no more.
That was that was when malls were dead.
Yeah.
The mall was the last place we wanted to go
I'm like,
to.
yo, I can't understand these dudes,
The
man.
biggest blessing is that we didn't really acquire a lot of brands yet, and we didn't have the funds to have brands in the store yet. So Drew just basically took everything from his warehouse in LA since we moved it back over there. Or maybe
It hadn't happened yet. It hadn't happened yet.
He was like, just take everything from the warehouse and fill your whole store. Then pay me
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Is Homme Femme what you guys put in our pop-ups?
Yeah, that's
what
what
it
it was. yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
And I bet
Absolutely.
you didn't even know that too.
I came to one pop-up that they had when they were still in Deep Ellum.
No,
with like
this
Junior
is a
the Creator
different
and
one.
shit.
No.
He used to do
I was
pop-ups with
doing
another
pop-ups.
guy. They do
Yeah,
sneakers
we do
and
sneaker
clothes.
pop-ups.
Is that where we had the art shit? Remember the Deep Ellum Art Festival?
No, that's
Yeah,
different.
pop
that
up
was
right
the
there?
one we did right before we. That was right before we
Yeah.
opened the
So
store.
So you
we
guys
didn't-
knew Ian back then?
No.
no,
we
this
didn't
was
know.
a couple. This was just right before
That's
that.
when y'all were
just
working
it.
with the other dude.
We knew his
Yeah.
other partner. And
Yeah,
so
I know
we're-
Brennan, right?
Yes, there you
That
go.
was
Yeah.
Shoe Plugs. Flash, remember Shoe
Yeah.
Plug?
Yeah.
That's where we were doing.
Yeah.
It
Didn't
was
even
it
know.
was shoe plugs, but it was me.
Yeah. Well, we know that now.
Yeah.
Which was the smartest decision they ever made.
But yeah, bro.
I feel like, bro, like, so I remember I was getting money off them striped jeans. And, like, we were eating, bro. But we weren't selling T-shirts to match, hats to match. We're just, Homme Femme has always been, like, a single product. Very recently have we, like, really like started like widening
Full
out the
collection.
assortment.
And you
Yeah.
can scroll back in our text messages like last, maybe not even a year. I keep complimenting you every time a collection comes out because it's head to toe.
Yeah.
And it's pieces. You
Yeah.
know, it's not just a hoodie and a t-shirt and some pants. Like we're talking like we got jackets, we got all sorts
Puffer
of
vests.
Interacts,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
all
like-
sorts
See, it's
of
crazy because that's the only
crop
Homme Femme that I know.
button-ups.
Yeah.
I just know it as the.
We've had Homme
The
Femme
big
has
line.
had over our first decade, which will be our 10th year in May. Bro, there's so many eras.
Yeah.
There's so many like little like side points, pivot points, and points like Scott said where it could have went this way or that way. Bro, we're literally there right now. Again, 10 years in, we're like at that point to where, you know, like things could be crazy, like next level, or we just pivot. Like the past few years, like I know I said like we did 5 mil in 2021, we did 5 mil this year. I felt like it was a little lost. But at the same time, I know like how hard it has been behind the scenes.
Yeah,
how
and
much-
able to keep that afloat
Yeah.
at that level. Yes,
the way the economy is.
dog.
Yeah, and every year, bro, in this business, bro, it's just like you're racing against your previous years.
Yeah.
You're like, can I match that? And the next, could I be better?
Yeah.
And what could I do to be better? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah,
But
there's
you give back too. You donate. You do crazy sales. You do all sorts of cool
Yeah.
stuff throughout the years as well.
it's what it takes to survive, bro. Like, you know, so like I'm very thankful for those peaks and those valleys.
Well, I can only say from experience that this is about the time that Drew comes up with the next big thing. And because to put it into a cycle, right? Started with the Chanel sweatshirt. He went on to develop the triple layer tee. Triple layer tee took the entire industry by storm once again, and that was the real beginning of scallop tees and the elongated hem
extended tees.
and it started with that
layerings.
To the striped denim
and tracksuits.
But yeah, you can't forget the striped sweats as well, because Chris Brown wore those in the Freaky Friday
Remember
Lil
that?
Dicky video.
Yeah.
And that was also,
That
I
was
feel
a
like
big
that was a
wave.
big savior of like, that was like a
Cash flow.
we back. That
Yeah.
was a we back.
Not to mention,
You still got that photo?
yeah,
that
we'll
photo?
pull it up. Not to mention, that was a pre-order.
Oh yeah.
Nah, fuck that. Those track pants
gambled
sat
that.
in the warehouse. The black ones did cool. Remember it had the matching
Yeah.
zip?
But they were, because they were short. They were
Yeah.
like cropped a little
But the
shorter.
yellow, we
Sad.
had none, and you ran that shit on the site, and then we called Rosemary, and she
Yeah.
made that shit
In a
all,
week.
like,
Yeah.
What were
Bro,
the
that
was
ones
a-
you guys pulled out of the storage randomly, like a Christmas ago or 2 Christmas
That
ago?
was probably the ones that John.
That's
was
the one
wearing
John's
that
got
never-
on.
that
Yeah.
They just never
Legendary.
sold.
Yeah, because
So-
you guys are
There-
like, it's back
there was-
now. Let's bring
and
it
then
back.
sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out, Drew.
So going back to the store, right? The opening of PCH at the time, right? So these guys were like, well, we did like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
We did like 2.5 years, right? And like I said, bro, we had some down moments, bro. Like it was, bruh, like it was bad. Like we're not even trying to like make that up for like just dramatic. Like
But it's one of the,
like-
it's one of those things though, Drew,
Yeah.
where we would sit there and be like, "What can we do? What's next? Like, how do we get
Yeah.
out of this?" It wasn't just we never gave up.
like yeah,
I would have a day where I would take a Louis duffel of Homme Femme to Slump God or something like that and have
Yeah.
this like crazy exciting moment, and then I would literally hop on the DART train with a bunch of homeless people and ride home.
crazy.
And I'd be thinking, wow, I'm literally like no different than
Yeah.
these people right here. The
Those
only thing
days.
that my grind was the only thing that my want to get out there and do something.
You always had it, bro.
That was the only thing
It's
that set me
fucking
apart
black
from the other
computer
people.
chair.
Yeah.
You know, Scott and Larry, bro. Like Scott and Larry, like I like y'all have always been like a good team, bro. Like Scotty has always been like that guy that's just overly just positive, right? Even when Scotty was down and he was not living as virtuous as he is now, like he's always kind of been the one that was optimistic. You know, Larry was more of a literal kind of guy. Like he had the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry was on crypto. I remember I came out here and I was buying fucking Litecoin and shit. You know, he was up on that before a lot of people, man. Like they've always worked together. And then I feel like when they got with you guys just made like this trifecta,
Yeah,
bro. It's
dude.
like
It was
you know,
Captain Planet.
Yeah, bro. Like the '96 Bulls, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all just kind of
Earth, wind, water.
skyrocketed, bro. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was envious of that shit too a little bit, man, because I never had a team I've always been the boss.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never had like a team of bosses with me.
Right.
You know
like
what I'm
a
saying?
conglomerate of
Yeah.
people.
I'm like, man, these boys got equal partners. Like, you know, like you're stronger because of that.
Cool part is
You know what I'm saying?
I hear that often. I feel
cool-
like people often tell me that. Like,
Yeah. They
we're
they
lucky
love our
that we have
relationship.
such a
Yeah.
good.
What's
You
cool
know?
about that though, Drew, is here at dinner we have a meeting about something. So
Yeah.
it could be a bunch of
Like
bosses
my boys
uniting.
are bosses, bro. Like, you know, like my brother Flash, man, like he's a boss at what he does. But he doesn't like work in my direct business.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
it's
Like
a
you
little
guys were talking to him the other day about what he does, you know? Like so we're figuring that out how to work together. My brother Twan is a boss.
Yeah.
Like he runs Hollywood, he owns food in the food industry now, but he can't save me when my vendor is fucked up.
Yo, let
You know
people,
what I'm saying?
let
Like-
people know in LA where they can go get some good food real quick.
You go to the Bocce bus, man. It's going to be right by Staples Center. The Bocce bus is like the Magic School bus, like
Yep.
Miss Trunchbull. You know, you remember the Magic School bus? Like
Yep.
beep 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 beep. Like
Yep.
it's big and yellow. Like they got the best of Bocce. Our camera guy, our creative guy, Mike will say that the portions are a little small, but they're Hollywood portions. You know, they're not like down south portions. They got lobster. They got all the good stuff you love. They are famous for their sauces. Their sauces are crazy.
Yep.
If you're like me, you love sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got the hot drop. They got
A lot of sauce over
the
here.
crazy
You ain't got no
spicy
sauce,
mayo.
you lost.
You ain't got no sauce, you
so
lost.
guys, please pull up Bocce Bus.
Yeah.
My boy Twan, please go support him if you're out in
Bocce
LA.
Bus, 3 locations in LA, 1 in Oakland and 1 in Miami.
They can just
now.
pull up on IG, right? Bocce
Yeah,
Bus.
Bocce Bus. It's
There
right
it
there.
is. Please, guys.
Yeah, but nah, so yeah, like you guys are blessed to have, you know, yourself. Like it's 3 Jordans.
Right.
There's no Pippen, there's no Rodman. You know what I'm saying? You guys are literally like provide that same level of intensity for each other, bro. Like I said, I told you I was gonna be honest. Like I was jealous. I'm like, bro, I wish I had like somebody like, you know, that could just be on my team like that. You know, it'd be like me and Ruigi and Jerry teaming up together.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like Ben Trill, you know? But like, yeah, it was a great experience to see how you guys have grown. Just being here on the first day, I know me and Flash were in Mexico City, and you guys were doing the grand opening in September, 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like we had to get here, man. We rode the death plane to Dallas from we were like on like that plane was so old. American Airlines, it had wallpaper peeling off
Ew.
from Mexico City here to Dallas, right? Direct, bro. Like I travel a lot, bro. So like I love like I watch Sam Chu on YouTube now, and like I be watching like these travel YouTubes. I love Anthony Bourdain. Like
We
I
love
like,
Anthony Bourdain too.
So like I love traveling. Now I look at what kind of plane it is and stuff. And this plane, like I
You
like
look at trains too, since you do a lot of Europe.
of course, the Eurostar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, Carlos was just in Europe and he was complaining about how much the ticket was. And I'm like, bro, take the Eurostar. He's like, I am, but it's a 1 day turnaround. I'm like, Carlos, you got too much money to not be in Paris for 4 days.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
take your ass to Paris for 4 days.
The beautiful part about right now is that we're all just helping each other eat.
Yeah.
You're selling me clothes. I'm turning around. I'm making money off the clothes. You're making all money off the clothes. No handouts, nothing like that. We
support each other.
We all support each
You know,
other.
Scotty told me something last night. He said, bro, I've known you for a long time. I never asked you for a discount.
I haven't.
You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy is when we used to run people's cars.
We be why does this store get
Yeah.
10% off?
Can I get
Yeah.
Can I get free shipping? Like I ain't never asked
Yeah,
for shit.
only-
There's sometimes where I get the overnight and you just charge it.
Of y'all,
Fuck
yeah,
it.
facts, bro.
Right.
This shit cost $1,500. You paying $1,500?
Yeah, and I did.
FedEx don't give
And
me
I
a
paid.
discount.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's like,
Yeah.
why would I take out your pockets?
But
Like,
you know what's crazy though? Like
I'm gonna get mine.
leverage, right? So I won't say what, but back in the day, we used to ship through FedEx.
Yeah,
You remember that?
I know. I remember.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. You know,
It was
We
great
can't-
for you.
until the that whatever they call that that period is over where we can't be prosecuted.
Yeah.
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah.
We won't speak on that, man.
Just
But
know we had the FedEx plug.
we have to plug. It was the greatest plug ever. You know what I'm saying? Now I
Bro.
do got the FedEx plug, man. FedEx, like
You can get
They-
you can
they
get a
still-
50-pound box to Budapest and overnighted for
Nothing.
30 block. Yeah.
They still
For
be
nothing.
doing that, bro. They still be doing that.
Yeah, for nothing.
I'm sure. Yeah,
Let's be
knowing
honest.
Ian, I'm sure that stuff comes
yeah.
across
The bill
desk.
never came.
That was always
Yeah.
a big thing with sneakers.
Yeah.
Was that whole thing.
But nah, just going back to y'all opening the store, bro, and seeing the progression, bro. Like you know them opening up the shop, and yeah, they have Homme Femme in here, but to be honest with y'all, man, y'all was holding on to a lot of Homme Femme because certain shit wasn't moving. So y'all, when I came in yesterday and I seen how y'all broke that space down, I remember the first desk back there, you know, and it was all Homme Femme on those racks. When y'all see private selection behind the scenes now, those black Home Depot racks that Scott and them bought, that used to be at the warehouse in Deep Ellum.
Yep.
They moved it here. It was all Homme Femme boxes of shit that wasn't really moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was, because we like in this business, bro, you drop a collection. Like Mark Echo wrote a great book called Unclothed, I believe. And he was saying, like, you could really love a design, the market doesn't like it. So we would drop these pieces, and some shit would sell out instantly. Some stuff would sell out never.
Yep.
Like, you know, so they had some stuff, and they put it in the shop. You know, they had the shoes, and that was unique. They
One
always,
of them was that plaid zip up and the pants to match sets.
You're talking about the plaid track pants?
They just didn't do well.
But that, to me, that was like my favorite.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and those track pants, you know, people be asking us to bring those pants back.
Yeah, I would.
I was about to say, because
I take the stripe off, but I just do the pants.
Yeah, they asked for that, bro. And
For
like,
the 10-year, you don't think it'd be cool to bring like one piece from each collection of each year or something?
So-
or like picture tees from back in the day?
because of production delays and because I
Yeah.
don't want to excite people, we're keeping a very close. I would tell y'all, you know, y'all, Amir and AZ, a couple people, right? We are retroing some old styles that you're going to be hyped
Tight.
about. Yeah. So the whole year for Homme Femme 10th year is going to be like a memoriam. I was going to wait till later to send y'all the invite, how y'all sent me the Christmas card, you know. But y'all going to have
Holiday
to come
card.
to LA. Excuse me, political reasons. The holiday card. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
All that.
You know, happy Merry Christmas.
All that.
Like, I want to send y'all the invite to the Homme Femme 10-year
wait.
anniversary ball.
Pulling all the way
if
up.
you don't wear a black tie suit, you can't come in.
I'm wearing a
I don't
triple
care
layer
how long
shirt.
I've
Fuck
seen
you.
You're not getting in. You're not getting into the ball with a triple layer shirt. You're gonna put your black tie suit on or your tux.
Tux,
And
big
you're gonna
tux.
look like
I
a
wear my hair
Texas
out now.
millionaire. You're gonna come down there and, you know, we're gonna toast, you know, to 10 years because
Love it.
it's tough to survive 10 years in this industry, man.
Absolutely.
Man.
It's
Like,
tough
yeah.
to survive 2 years in this
Yeah.
industry.
I'm very proud of that, man. Like we said, we've seen a lot of brands come and go. And I think like not through design, we're here for 10 years, you know, just through God's grace and through a stroke of luck sometimes too, and just through cosmic forces that like we've been able to survive 10 years.
And my favorite mantra, just keep going.
Keep going.
Do you have a picture of Tiana wearing that shirt
Yeah,
still?
I'll send it to
That
Michael.
needs to be on a picture too,
Yeah.
bro. You need to do a picture too.
I'm
of
gonna
that.
bring out the Chanel lawsuit letter too.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
you got hit with that too and everything.
$2 million, man. I'll never forget this day. I'm at eating dinner with a sales agency that wants to help me take my brand to the next level.
You've been served.
Yeah, this is before we working with you. I'm with my boy Johnny, and my little brother Twan calls me and he's like, "Yo, you just got sued," and I'm like who? He's like Chanel. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Cheers.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, eventually I knew the day would come. You know, we're using the CCs. So like a year and a half later, it came, and he's like, "It says $2 million," and I was like,
It's over. For my life
"I'm
is
like, my
over.
life is done." Like
Shitty part.
I'll never financially recover from this.
$2 million, exactly my words. I'm like, yo, $2 million, yo, my life is done. Like all the money I make forever is like,
You're like, check please.
yeah. Have you seen the movie Wall Street with Michael
Yeah,
Douglas?
of course.
So remember when they're in the when he has him in the limousine and he's like, you know, he's showing them his first building he bought and he's like, I bought this building for $800,000. He's like, it was the greatest feeling ever, you know. It's all the money I had, you know, and now it's a day's pay, right? And 8.5 years ago, showing me a $2 million lawsuit, thought my life was over. I told my best friend I'm done, and now it could be like a quarter.
You know what I mean? We're going to have a bad
I'll
quarter
tell you
this
this
quarter.
much. We ran one collection and 3 weeks later got hit by Louis Vuitton with a cease and desist. So
Yeah, for
you had a
y'all
lot
for the private selection?
for the gallery
gallery,
department
for
tees.
gallery.
Oh,
So you had a longer
Gallery.
run than we did.
yeah, nah, but y'all are big. I don't think y'all really understand how
We don't.
We
y'all
don't
are,
because
At
people
all.
say that, and I just
Yeah.
still feel like Lil Bro.
You know, my little cousins that live out in the suburbs in the IE, my little 8-year-old cousin Makai, he watches y'all.
Dope.
Like he watches
crazy.
Mr. Beast and like FaZe and all that, and then you guys are on his algorithm, and I never played it.
That's crazy.
You know, you guys have a large influence, bro. I've seen it at Complex Con. I'm starting to see it outside, bro. People like know me because of y'all now.
Yeah, you get stopped
know?
at the airport.
Yeah,
My
like,
boy ran into
People
you.
try to race you.
yeah, it's crazy, bro. Yeah, your guy from SneakerCon.
Yeah,
he's
Chris.
like, yo, y'all know you're a
Artist
stallion
for the
of people.
Lord.
Yeah, like it's crazy though because
Shout out Chris.
I used to be Twan's brother. You know what I'm saying? That's how people knew me in LA, and like and then I started doing my own thing, and like people kind of known y'all for Homme Femme in the city, and now people know me because of y'all.
Yeah, isn't that
Definitely.
weird how that?
Definitely
Yeah.
stamped,
Full
like
circle.
you said earlier before we're off air, definitely stamped Texas with the
Nah,
Homme
y'all,
Femme.
bro.
And for the guys who don't know earlier, our barber was cutting our buddy Jason Poston, who we have a podcast with next week. And I was like, hey, Jason, like, this is my buddy Drew. He owns Homme Femme. And Jason used to come to the warehouse and shop the brand. He goes, oh, crazy. He pulls the cape over and he's wearing Homme Femme.
Crazy,
and I was like,
bro.
this is my barber, John. And John looks down and John's wearing Homme Femme. So
Crazy,
it's like,
bro.
all right.
Yeah, and I see that shit all the time, bro.
Crazy.
Like we were on our way to Spain a couple weeks back, and some random girl was wearing the Chris Brown track pants.
Huh.
And like then I got home and I'm eating lunch with my big cousin Tanya at Simply Wholesome, and some Asian kid walks in there wearing a Homme Femme basketball sweater, and she's just like, "Oh my God, cousin, look! Like, can I tell him that that's my cousin?" Like, and I'm like, Tanya, nah, don't say nothing. Just let the man live his life.
Is there anyone, before we get off, is there anyone big that when you saw it, you're just like, fuck?
I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. So the Chanel sweater, I believe I was busted by Chanel. One, because of how viral it was on the internet. Two, because it was on all over Alibaba and it said Homme Femme even with the knockoffs, which is why the name got so big.
Yeah.
Everything said Homme Femme, the t-shirts, the sweatpants.
Yep.
My big brother exclusive game knocked me off before I knew him. We laugh about that all the time. He came to my party in Vegas with his Homme Femme shirt on. He's like, I didn't know that was you. And I'm like, we laugh about it now.
Shout out T, man. Love you, big dog.
Who y'all gotta have on the show.
Oh,
we
1000%.
And like,
He's on
like
the list.
we got some stories about T. Like, yeah, like, he's definitely.
He's
definitely,
OG, triple
yeah.
OG, bro.
But I think like Young Jeezy wearing it on Jimmy Kimmel. That was crazy. That I'm like, nah, bro. I'm not on Jimmy Kimmel right now. But the craziest person I've probably seen wearing Homme Femme, I've seen a lot, bro. I've had Chris Brown. We sent a lot of packs over to Drake. I've been told that he's wearing it, but not on camera. You'll see like our brother TV Gucci wearing Homme Femme right next to Drake.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure the boys wearing it. But damn, it's just so many people, bro. Like it slipped my mind. It's been such like a long run, and like I said, you guys are going to see the new 10-year collection. It's going to be crazy. I'm not going to show nobody really until it comes out, but it's sick. But
I feel like every week I see someone.
Yeah.
Big name. Who just wore it? Donovan
Mitchell
After
just wore
he just
it.
dropped
But
whatever.
Also,
71.
though,
Let's just
Yeah.
click through this
the
because
guys can go to the site and get the Eddie Bauer. Or is that not on the site?
Eddie Bauer is not on the. Some pieces aren't on the site anymore.
Where would they have to
We
go?
didn't even talk about Eddie Bauer.
Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big move
Yeah.
for
They
you.
can come to the selection.
Yeah, and come
Yeah,
here.
and you guys are the only people that have the Eddie Bauer collection are y'all and 151.
Oh, I thought Pure had it too.
No, we don't sell the Pure no more. Me and Liz are just friends.
Okay.
if you
Yeah,
look
it's
on
better
my
that way.
if you look on my IG, I have this little PR work tab. and it's-
Odell.
and it's all just pictures. It's all just Homme Femme pictures. So let's just slide through.
Odell
real quick.
Beckham,
Don
Don
Benjamin.
Benjamin, Tory Lane. I did that one
Yeah.
too.
Ray
Ray Shrimmer.
Shrimmer.
I did that one.
Tory again.
That was me.
Quavo.
Yeah.
Future.
Future.
Quincy.
Yeah.
Offset.
Yeah. That's the kid from Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fire.
Yeah.
Party
Party.
Next Door. I did that one.
Party.
Yeah.
Don. Tory.
Tory.
Rob Banks. Nice. Famous
Famous
Dex. Vic Mensa. My
Fab.
Fab.
Yeah.
Wow. Vic again.
again.
I did that one.
Smoke Perp and
Smoke
Ill Chris.
Perp.
That's
That was at
outside
the
the
warehouse.
warehouse.
Let's
That's
not,
at my
hey,
warehouse.
before this ends, Ill Chris, legend, underground king of
He
this
is-
game,
Oh,
bro.
new owner of Arch Rival Studios.
Wow, really?
He
Yeah.
just opened the new spot. I
And
just saw that like this morning.
Hey, and speaking,
I love Chris,
and just,
man.
just
Great
tying it
energy.
back together though, like y'all, talking about the format of putting your brand, your retail brand in a retail store. It's kind of a stigma against that, These brands, they think, I sell at Neiman Marcus. Like, sorry guys, Pleasures. Like very cocky motherfuckers, right?
Right.
Like they got all these dope shops, but at the same time, they're hating on y'all. Like, but bro, like no one cares, bro. Like just how there's punk rap and fucking, the culture has taken over, bro. People want to go find stuff where they can get the shoes at.
Facts.
Like, you know, and if we were just in London at Harrods, and I hate to say it, I hate to go back to to hip hop, but Drake, that's why I'm at Hyde Park, you know, shutting down Harrods. Like, you know, like the same bar he dropped the Distamiri in. Like, bro, Harrods selling Chicago ones Flash for what? $15,000.
Right.
The Chicago off-white ones.
Jeez.
Because those rich Saudi princes come in there with their kids, exactly what they said, and they're like, babe, you want these? $15K. Like, you know,
Like nothing.
I actually
Harrods,
didn't know that they sell resale shoes at Harrods.
Harrods, one of the most prestigious shopping places in the world. You know, Kensington, London, money, like everything in there. Chanel, Dior, Rude, fucking selling fucking retail shoes. They're selling some. They don't got a better selection than y'all.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. We got the footage.
Yeah.
They don't got a better private selection than y'all. They got some mid shit in there. Yeah. Selling the one off-white Chicago ones for 15,000 pounds, not dollars.
Yeah,
pounds.
So, yeah.
That's a lot more.
It's a little more.
Ask
than
my
that.
boy Flash off the camera. Mid selection.
Yeah.
Mid selection.
Mid selection. We can show you. We'll show you the footage from Mike has it in his camera.
But the point of that is to say that it's coming.
They have to have it. You know how much money Harrods is? They decked the whole store in Dior Christmas lights. They had a Dior gingerbread house. We had tea in there. Yeah. You know, we were eating Dior cookies. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy. But it's coming, and you guys are ahead of the game. And like I said, the cool thing about y'all being ahead of the game is documented. Mm-hmm. It's on wax.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You can't say it didn't happen.
Yeah, so the time's coming, bro.
Fat Joe said it.
Yeah, Fat Joe just
and
said
Fat
that.
Joe is money. You know those rich Dubai kids? They fuck with Fat Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Shout
Money
out Fat
kicks.
Joe.
See him out there with money kicks.
Money kicks been ahead of the game, bro. You know, rapping his Lambos and
Uncle
stuff.
Joey.
Like, yeah, what you say? They just opened up a 2J's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Where's the next private selection going to be?
Can't tell you,
Come on,
but
guys.
we have one.
And I need parts. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at dinner.
Yeah.
1,000%. I was watching the 2J's live. It was cool. He has a club at the top with food and shit.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like it. Shout out to JC, man.
And
Proud of
then
you.
just wrapping it up, I know you guys, we got to
crazy.
run. You just, even knowing, like I said, like how small of a world it is, knowing that you guys run the store. We've been friends for almost a decade. And like Flash,
we've been friends for
2J's from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like from back in the day. I feel like our circle of influence, we're the next guys. Like bro, like I said, rest in peace, Virgil. But he's got Kanye, Virgil, and Jerry, and them. They're like 45.
Yeah.
They're like a generation ahead of us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like my cousin that was born in 1978. You know, like I was in 8th grade, he was a sophomore in college type shit, you know? Like these guys they were the generation before us. It's so crazy because we have to live through that time period where they were coming up. So it might make us feel like we're kind of dated, but really we're not. We're just like coming into our own. We didn't get a chance to see what Jerry was doing in 2009. There was no Instagram.
Yeah, you couldn't.
We don't know what the groundwork was. We don't know what Yoon was doing in Tokyo with Verbal, back in those days, you know? We don't know what Taz was doing back in those days, or Don C, or Iban. Like, you know, now kids get to see your everyday life.
Documented.
They can see you driving home. You know, like they know what music you like. They know where you eat. They know what you wear, bro. It's the kid that works in your warehouse. I mean, in the store, the 19-year-old creative director kid.
Yeah, Heaps.
He's like, bro, oh my God. Like, I'm like, bro, like, you're making me feel weird, bro. Like, yeah, like, he's like, Homme Femme, like, it inspires me so much. Yeah.
Ready to learn.
I'm inspired by those type of kids, bro, because it's dope, bro. Like,
But see, he's looking at you like you looked at Taz, except you're gonna give him a chance.
yeah.
No disrespect.
Taz gave me a, you know, I wouldn't be here without Taz and Bailey. You know, I'm not here to roast them. Like, if there's ever a place, like, you know, what did Drake say? He said, I wish I played in a sport where, you know, we got awards.
You got rings.
Yeah, I wish I, you know, like, bro, we got rings over here, bro. Like, y'all boys got rings,
I
you know?
wouldn't have enough room on either hand for anything.
Yeah, like, y'all might have an SEC championship. I might have a Pac-12 championship because I live in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all won the Big 12 wherever
Big 12.
y'all from? You know, but
Not
like
TCU,
bro.
TCU got smashed.
Yeah,
man.
65-7.
Hey man, the last team to beat that ass that crazy was SC versus Oklahoma back in the day. That was crazy.
You saw Mattress Mac bet 3.1 million, had a full head to toe TCU out.
Lost
it all.
Hey,
Quavo was
last 2
down on the
years in a
field.
row.
Yeah.
Quavo was down on the field hitting cigars with the lineman.
Mattress Mac is a G though.
He is.
Yeah.
He already hit it. He hit a
betting
lick
on
on
it.
the
Yeah,
Houston.
he's
He already hit a lick
he's
on the
You
betting
seen his
World
fit,
Series
right? You
money.
seen
That
his
was the
fit,
biggest.
right?
That was the biggest win.
He had on a
time, right?
Celine bucket with the Supreme box logo. Like
Oh,
Mattress
tight.
Mac's a G.
Yeah.
And Quavo, that ain't fair, man. Because the Georgia, I don't know when they might lose again. But you see the quarterback's
I was about
25?
to say at the whole controversy with the quarterback being
He's
the same,
older than
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
Yeah, a
Jackson.
lot of
Yeah,
quarterbacks.
They're like
that
he's a 25-year-old quarterback throwing to 5-star recruits.
Yeah.
It's like of course
Versus
it's-
19-year-old DBs.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, it's funny, like, while I'm here with y'all, Marcel at the warehouse, the Georgia team came through and, like, grabbed a lot of stuff. And I'm hyped
that's
because
tight.
they, like, picked up some older styles that weren't doing too well online.
And now that they're hot right now,
Yeah,
wearing
and
them,
they
Not
just
about to
won.
go
So I'm
over.
like, please let Keely Ringo wearing these pants on his
get a little
Instagram.
surge of online
Yeah.
sales.
Like, yeah. But no, I appreciate y'all, man. Like,
Yeah, we
I
love you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
We
I feel like we
appreciate
could
you.
talk all day.
We could.
Yeah.
Once I realized that we hadn't even made it to the triple layer tees, it's like there's so many
Yeah.
things we didn't
You're a
even
big
get
influence in my life, Drew.
Yeah.
We're gonna
man.
need part 2s for Flash and
Yeah.
Drew.
to. Yeah.
It's-
And if I may nominate some people, y'all gotta have T up here.
Yes,
You know,
would
and
love to.
Y'all gotta have Amir up here.
That'd be nice
Because,
too,
like, Amir
actually.
literally built his store. I wouldn't have made that jump to Paris if it wasn't for Amir.
Yeah, you guys went
Yeah.
every year for
Yeah,
several
Amir's
years.
like, yo,
On the
let's-
retail side, Amir has taken it to, and of course we've watched it the whole way.
Yeah.
And he's just taking it to a whole different level, man. And I love it because
Yeah.
obviously he caters and carries a lot of the brands that are in my personal arsenal. So even like
Yeah.
that reflective 3M needle shirt that I posted a couple weeks back, like that was from Amir. All those tracksuits, this color tracksuit needles that I
Yeah.
wore for SneakerCon in LA for my birthday, all those I got from Amir, like 3 different colorways. And so I definitely envy that because that's a part of fashion that I don't always get to explore with my own store. And so I would definitely love to be able to chop it up and get his perspective from retail because he doesn't do the resale side.
Let me get one thing off my chest before we go. Envy. He didn't mean envy in a bad way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said, like the words mean everything, right? Like I was envious of Carlos because he had a father figure. You know, it wasn't like a hatred
didn't
though.
hate him.
Yeah,
You
you know,
wanted it.
yeah, like envy. Like I seen a Kanye clip where he said something. It was a word that he flipped. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. But it was basically like he's like, yo, it's not bad. Like it just means like it's inspiring. Like you can envy someone without hating them. You know, like. And I think with us, bro, it's more of like an inspiration thing too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
for sure.
Like it's like, yo, it makes you want to take it to the next level. Like I was telling
Like,
Scotty
I want that.
off camera about honor the gift. I'm like, yo, I love Russell Westbrook. Like I'm glad the Lakers didn't trade Russ. I'm glad they stuck it through. Russ, you know, he sacrificed his ego to, you know, go to the bench and make the team better. One of the most flyest dudes ever. You know, experimental as well too. But like Scotty was saying, before honor the gift, Homme Femme was the brand that kind of took
The high
fashion approach to
Brought it to the
everything.
masses.
So now Russell, with his $200 million endowment, is now
Competing.
He's bringing it to the market for a price point that I can't afford because I don't got that behind me. He has a really great team, and now it makes me step my game up to the next level.
For sure.
And because honor the gifts in the market now, I can't have an excuse to do what I want to do now. I'm seeing it work. You know,
I've worn it 2 days in a row in front
yeah,
of you.
and it's
No
pissing me
disrespect.
the fuck off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I love Russ.
I love the
and
brand.
and like
It's
Larry's
good
like,
brand.
you don't necessarily need to compete with Russ. Russ follows Homme Femme. You know what I mean? And like we'll figure it out because my brother and Russell Westbrook's brother are really cool. Raynard, like Russ supported my brand for a long time. But I don't play basketball. I don't play for the Lakers. But all of a sudden, I got a little bit of competition that's forcing me to be better. It's like practicing against LeBron every day. You know what I'm saying? So now I know Russ is going to come with the smoke. So now I'm like, yo, I'm telling my guys, Kai, Sarah, you know, we're like, yo, we got to come with the shit. Like, because Russ got this fucking Antarja, you know, sweater in the market for what, $150?
It's like 148, some shit.
The Homme Femme one's going to be $200.
I
But
love it.
it is what it is.
But it's going to be hard, though.
But nah, thank you, Russ, bro. Like, thank you a lot, man. I'm not LeBron, you know, I'm not KD, but in this market, though, we're seeing eye to eye, and I just, like, appreciate him for, like, bringing that to the market because it's like, it validates what we've been trying to do.
1000%.
Yeah, and it forces me to think deeper.
Like you said, it's almost, it reminds me of the instance where we just wanted to go to SneakerCon and meet DJ Big Boy Chang, and then we met him, and he's just like, bro, he's like, I just came here because I just wanted to meet y'all.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like Russ, you guys would probably have that same conversation where he's like, bro, I've been following your brand for years. I was inspired to do Honor the Gift because I saw everything. I'm almost willing to bet that's how that conversation is gonna go.
Yeah, no, it's good, bro. It's good. It's good to have a little bit of envy in your heart, not an unhealthy envy where you want to murder someone. Malicious. Yeah, you don't want to be the guy that But
you need something to strive for.
Yeah,
you need to see somebody setting the example and setting the pace. That's why I give a lot of credit to Chris. Because there was not a lot of people for us to look up to when we were just two kids who quit our job trying to find a way in this industry, and the only person we could watch from the whole was Chris, and he was just magical with it.
He'll be on the show too.
I've had a up and down relationship with Chris for many reasons, but I've never lost respect for him.
Yeah.
It's like my relationship with Chris would be like me being a young Lakers fan when Shaq and Kobe were getting their ass kicked by Stockton and Malone, but I'm just like, damn, bro, that pick and roll is consistent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the leverage, bro, they don't get a lot of credit either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're literally like the shit as far as
they are a fashion
conglomerate,
a monster powerhouse for streetwear brands and retailers worldwide.
You can take something and scale it all the way up.
They're consistent, and they, like us, they feed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not only overseas, but here too. And Chris definitely like set the blueprint for people like us. And when I say people like us, like, I mean people that don't necessarily have that media presence.
Bro, he was a sales rep for
I Am King.
No, the other one.
And Bella? No, I Am King.
Publish.
Oh, Publish. Yeah,
he had a tiny little fucking room with one little desk, and he literally had nothing and drove the little CRX beat up car.
I love Chris to this day right now.
And now he's a multimillionaire.
Not only does Chris show love, the love doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that he shows me respect.
Yeah.
He gives me my flowers for consistency. Because many years I felt like they were like in my way. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely gave their ass a run for their money during the pandemic. Like Chris is up right now because he got his shit out of China before the COVID hit and before the Chinese New Year. So he gonna have a little fun with the market right now. But I kicked that ass during the pandemic. Their factory was closed, and like Rosemary was pumping. Like, and I was taking over some blocks. Like I look at him and Lee as like Avon and Stringer Bell. Yeah. And I'm what's his name? My name is my name. Like from The Wire.
I never know
that. You never seen The Wire?
Never watched
The Wire. What's the boy's name on The Wire, man?
Anybody over there?
Flash from The Wire. You watch The Wire? What's the dude? My name is my name. Like, I gotta Google that, man.
I gotta say Google.
Yeah, but now the leverage, bro, they definitely, they're them guys, man.
That's why I respect Drake so much, because once you get to the top, and if you don't have competition, like you're saying, and you're just running that, it's hard to continue to stay there and keep innovating and doing shit.
Marlo from The Wire.
Marlo.
Yo, you know another reason I respect Drake? Bro, him and Jay got an ongoing dialogue of like little bro, big bro. Speaking of T, bro, during that time where we had all that shit in the warehouse that wasn't selling, I see T in Miami at Art Basel. And a lot of people look at people, bro, and they don't know, they don't got skin for this game, bro. My brother T is really gaudy and outgoing. We got a little inside joke with him, me, Mike, and Flash. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he's definitely shown me a lot. He showed me a lot, bro. And he showed me that vision. I kind of latched on to T. He lives in the Lambo Green, drives a Lambo, lives in a mansion. He's popping. He is a legend in the space. He was around when Big Meech was around. All those people you're seeing, like young Jeezy wearing those jerseys.
Yeah, that's all him.
Slim Thug and shit. He was the throwback custom guy.
Yeah, he started off in the
custom
jerseys.
shirt guy. We talked about Burner. He's serving Burner. He's serving everybody. He's on the phone with Diplo. He's on the phone with fucking Ozuna. Yeah. Like, he's talking to soccer players,
Big shit.
T took me to a Moet Chandon dinner in Paris, introduced me to Bernard Colligon, which is the biggest FIFA agent in Europe. Opened up a lot of doors for me, but I'm at Art Basel in Miami the year before I met Flash, and we're walking in the back with fucking Birdman, and T's like, "What's up, Drew?" You still got a brand? I was pissed. Like, cause my shit wasn't popping. Like, it was stuck in a warehouse in Deep Ellum where like it wasn't moving. The fits were bad. Like, it was bad. And T, like, that shit motivated me, bro. And like 6 months later, I came with the striped jeans.
Yeah, killing it.
Loaded that clip up.
Yeah.
Killing it.
And like Drake, bro, T introduced me to Drake. I was rolling around with Mob Ties and my brothers Junior and Jazz and them. They didn't introduce me to Drake. Jazz Prince, who found Drake, didn't walk me up to Drake. T did. He like, the boy. Yeah, I've known the boy since Crits and Castles. He said, come here. Introduced me and Flash to Drake. The story is true. Drake was literally floating behind us that whole party. Like, every time I looked over my head, it was Drake. Right there. We've always felt that way about Drake. And then we got really close to the camp. And like we're outside with, you know, his homies and shit like that. But T's the first person to ever bring him to me and say, yo, this is Drew. This is what he does.
And T's exclusive game, y'all.
Yes.
Find him on Instagram.
Exclusive game, yeah.
We
got episodes. Yeah,
we got episodes with T. We went there when we went to Atlanta.
Yeah. And these guys, one of the reasons I'm here in Dallas is because I wanted to do the podcast, of course. I wanted to speak my truth, talk to my friends, but we're going to launch a YouTube, and they're helping us launch a YouTube.
That's right.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's full circle, you know? And like you said, envy, bro. It's one thing to just want to do better, but there's a lot of people in this game that like to hold each other back. They like to gatekeep, you know what I'm saying? They like to keep people from going forward. And I don't think, no matter where we're at, we've never been guilty of that. Like, I've always gave my factories to people whenever I could. Scotty's always shown love. He's always let people crash on his couch. Always fed people. Larry's done the same when he could, bro. Like, Ian, I've known you for like 2 or 3 years now.
Right.
You've always shipped me shoes. You never didn't call me back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's probably been times where y'all felt like y'all was the niggas. Like, you know, y'all on the top of the world, bro. We never changed.
Nope.
You know? And like Drake talks about that a lot. And he has little beefs and shit. He gets it off his chest. And Dame Dash said it. He said, if I can't tell my brother how I feel, he's not my brother.
That's one thing I like about Drake is that his circle's still the same. And everywhere he goes, you don't see bitches with him.
Yeah.
He always just has his boys with him.
Yeah.
That's all he looks out for. Like, the circle's tight.
Drake moves militant. Like, you would think, like, Drake, they are tight, bro. They work out together. They do everything together, bro. Like, Flash has had an opportunity to really, like, be inside that. Like, but, you know, I'm usually, like, doing something else when he's there. But, like, we've seen it, bro, firsthand. Like, they move like that, bro. And that's what we're going to do moving forward. Like, we're going to do that for sure. Because like I said earlier, we are the guys.
I got to go overseas with you, bro. You've been telling me for about 7 years.
Bro, these guys.
Got my passport.
Every January, y'all coming to Paris?
Hey, listen.
He hit me a couple weeks ago talking about Paris.
On camera. I want this on camera, right? I need this from Ian, Larry, and Scott. I need a promise that you guys will be in Europe this January for Fashion Week.
January when?
Right now?
June, excuse me.
June.
This
Yes.
June.
That's my birthday.
So, Fashion Week in June, crazy. If they are not in Europe, somewhere in Europe this June, 75% off the private selection.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Swear to it right now.
All right.
I'm down.
We have to.
Swear to it right now.
I don't swear.
Don't
but
swear. You're down. That
I
means
promise.
he's down.
I'll shake on it.
That means he's down.
I'll shake
You
on
got
it.
one.
Here,
down.
shake my hand.
I'm down.
I'm down.
Guys,
Let's
they
go to-
will not
we're-
put this podcast
We're going to
out.
Paris.
They
Guys,
will
we're
be
going to Paris.
in Europe this summer. Are 75% off the private selection, not the GR shit. The private
heavy shit.
selection.
The heavy
Yeah,
shit.
these
And
selection.
Michael better not edit this out. He better not edit
Nah,
this
we don't
out.
edit the podcast.
Yeah.
They run straight through.
You heard it here first. 75% off the private selection. I don't care if you guys get there on a plane, train, or automobile.
Will you do a sale if we go?
Only if you can do a sneaker shopping episode with us.
If y'all do a sneaker, bro, y'all are going to kill it, bro. We're going to eat snails. We're going to eat everything, bro. We're going to go to Kith. We're going to go to the Avenue Montage. We're going to go to the Eiffel Tower.
All that.
We're going to go to the Notre Dame. We're going to do all that. We're going to go to the club. We're going to go to Hotel Costas. We're going to get a big-ass Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? We're going to wear the same shoes like we did at the eBay
go.
party.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do it crazy. We're going to have your Michael, our Michael. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be dope. We're going to shut this shit
Mic'd
down.
up.
Then we're going to take a dope-ass photo, just like Taz and
Yeah.
Kanye. Yeah. We're going to go.
I need to get my Goyard briefcase then.
Yeah, bro. You got to, bro. The world is so, like,
Pretty sure Kanye
the
was
world is
wearing
open. You know, like, the world is such a bigger place in America.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned from traveling so much, bro. Like, you're going to meet people around the world that you're like, damn, he reminds me of my homie, but he doesn't even speak your language.
It's a different version.
You're gonna meet a girl, you're gonna be like, damn, she walks just like this girl I know, but she's not. We're not in Dallas no more. You know, like you're gonna find somebody that Carlos said he had people shouting him out in London.
Crazy.
I watch his YouTube too now. I support all my homie shit, bro. My cousins watch y'all vlogs. My little cousins, like, bro. When y'all shit drops, I watch it, bro.
Thank you.
Like, you know, sometimes they be long and I might fall asleep during them. But, you know, I watch Carlos's YouTube now too, bro. It's like, it's tight. And, like, y'all are going to enjoy that shit, bro. And I guarantee you guys are going to see people and you're going to be like, damn, people know us here.
On the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
I want
real.
that.
Yeah.
If Sneaker Con could have taken me to
Wanna
London,
do it
I would have
big.
experienced that.
Bro, I got some plugs over there.
You got plugs
You
everywhere.
got plugs over there. You got plugs over there?
Yeah, people be reaching out.
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. My dude Sam. Shout out Sam, the golf fashion guy on IG. He
Nice.
he runs PXG for like their London IG. So I gotta go do some golfing over there.
Yeah,
all
that's
kinds
tight.
of stuff.
You got to go
man.
to the Royal Ascot.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
my family is probably, 50, 60 people deep, and there's 4 of them in America.
In
5
UK,
of them in
right?
all over.
Yeah.
Spain,
I'm from Wales.
England, Ireland.
I'm Welsh too. My name Evans is Welsh.
Nice.
Yeah.
J-Bar, too.
Yeah, J Bar's
Yeah,
from
we
Welsh.
talked about that.
Scott,
Yeah.
I'm from Scottish.
Isn't
and
J
Welsh.
Bar related to Peyton Manning?
He says.
he says he has a.
He said that he's
Come on, bro. Don't do it like that.
He says he has a football and something that he was given.
He
when
used to
was
be at
like
the family
8 or something.
cookouts or some
That's what he
shit.
said.
You want to hear one of those crazy family people be like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah.
tight.
My grandma will swear by it.
Really?
Like he
That's
was
cool.
at my family reunion when I was a little kid.
That's tight.
Yeah. So that's pretty
Damn.
crazy.
I like Ice
And
Cube.
it kind of plays into the whole straight out of Compton thing. You know what I mean?
Damn,
That's
sure
hard,
does.
man.
But
That's
yeah,
hard.
now y'all boys, man, I appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
I know
man.
that you said you're doing a sale if you don't go to Europe this summer, so
Fair enough. We'll be there.
We'll come to Dallas and we'll fly out together.
This
Business class.
This podcast was definitely inspirational.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be very inspirational to any young aspiring designers out there. I wish we got to really round out the story, but it just means we got to part 2 this
Yeah,
thing.
we
So
left it
it's
open-ended.
okay. But man, again, beyond grateful for you, our relationship, our friendship, everything that we've been able to build in this industry together over the last several years, and we're very excited for what we're getting ready to do now. Things have just gotten bigger, better. You know what I'm saying?
Where can they find you, Drew, on all even your businesses?
Well, you can first and foremost at Homme Femme, no more LA, just HOMMEFEMME. And then me, Passport Poppy. Like it'll pop up Passport with an E. And yeah. But nah, like seriously, guys. Like, and I want to affirm this right now. We were broke boys, future millionaires. Like safe to say, on paper, we're all net worth millionaires now,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Of
for
course.
sure.
Future billionaires.
Future
Yeah,
Bill.
1000%.
You feel it?
Future
Let's go.
billionaires.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You know, on paper millionaires, almost billionaires.
The hard part's done.
Yeah.
To go from nothing to
Yeah.
where we are now, that's the hardest thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Without a head start. Now just multiplying it, we figured out the formula.
Yeah.
It's just
I got my $5,000 and I made the million.
yeah.
you know?
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, YouTube channels. Mike, what's our YouTube? At Homme Femme? It was
Homme
like
Femme,
it
there you
was
go.
like Homme Femme 1756. Now it's just at Homme Femme. Yeah.
Nice.
Our
Guys,
channel,
please subscribe.
yeah. It's gonna just be us traveling, eating, you know,
They love the eating
meeting
stuff.
vendors, shit like that, you know,
You
like
got a lot to show the world.
yeah, a little Anthony Bourdain mixed with a little hype beast.
That's what
you
we
know?
say ours is
Yeah.
too when we travel. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
guys. Well, I appreciate it, y'all. It's another episode. Tune in
See y'all
next
next
time.
time.
Laters.
Thank you guys.